I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my bones as in desert crumbs spoon. I'm gonna turn all of my stones.
Rock bottom make the man and some pressure make a gemstone. Trying to put $1 to my name like Creflo. Naja boy, late to the game, it's in the blood flow. And I'm from the south, it's thick skin and tough bone. Big attitude through big lips with gusto. Trust no kings, that's why they tried to crush souls. But it's IGBO, when the dust blow, this old head be standing there. No silver, just gold. Crack no books on the hustle, I was born to grind. Yo, scared of your potential, I'm adorned with mine. 30 times around the sun, man, of course I shine. My legacy will not dwarf with time. And in my daughter's eyes, it's basic, I must not say quit. Every day sees a present like a Rob St. Nick. Walk a fine line between tenacious and patient. I can't slip, I'm fighting clocks and they can't win.
I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my bones as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Who that soldier in the mirror, oh oh. I'm gonna turn all of my stones.
Impeccably I flow, hardest raps you know. Breaking status quo, reaping what I sow. Artistry like Van Gogh, get it from my mama hip so thick that I need tempo. Personality spicy, body banging like a bongo. Cause black women been it since Timbuktu, since Pharaoh. Sponge rollers and hot combs, lips, cheeks and brow bones. If you ain't for the culture then please stay out of my zone. These little dummy rappers could never grace like headphones. See I'm from a place in space where ain't no storytelling, you just had to have been there. If you want the battle, ain't no problem, say where. I got so much experience, I can't even play fair. But I'ma keep evolving and growing and hurting feelings and showing. You need endurance to go in, I got mileage on this pen. I've been busy cause I've been out here schooling all these kids. Took 3 decades to have this glow up that I did.
I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my bones as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. I've got blue souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Who that soldier in the mirror, oh oh. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. Turn all of my
guys know, I know you guys were checking shoes last night to see if he was barefoot. Is that still the case? Is he barefoot? Because I know on Facebook somebody posted a picture of these could be his shoes, or is that so he is presumed to be barefoot at this point?
What I can say is that his mom says all of his shoes are accounted for at the house. I'm not going to say that he's barefoot.
All right.
Allegedly!
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. Here's a brief disclaimer for tonight's show. Let's watch.
That's ignorant! Allegedly, that's ignorant! Ignorant.
Judgment, Aslı.
Chloe, you read my thoughts. You've got the shinin.
You mean shining?
Shh! You wanna get sued?
Judgment, Aslı.
You just use that shin of yours to call me and I'll come a running. But don't be reading my mind between 4 and 5. That's Willie's time.
Hey, yo, boss. I love him when he does that.
Let's watch.
Don't get me back to good bullshit.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. And it's so good to see all of you guys today. Thank you for stopping in and coming by to see us. I have a great show planned for today. So as soon as I got off my live last night, I went over and checked my text messages and someone sent me an update for Mackenzie Elithrope, right? Her father was up speaking at the board meeting. And then his parents met with Channel 5 News to talk about the rumors, the speculation, but it's not like it was mentioned. It was really well done. They just hit every subject head on, right? And then Mackenzie spoke out for herself. So today's about girl power. Today's about saying no to the corruption. No man who is corrupt, no man who condones corruption and others can possibly do his duty by the community. And that's Theodore Roosevelt. I'm going to tell you right now that goes for women too. When we read these old quotes, you know, it just says man, man, man. No, that's mankind. Women too. And the fact that any of these teachers are still working, this happened in the beginning of March, and it should have never been condoned. It should have never been swept under the rug. So we're going to discuss that. I also have an update about a little girl. I shared her story yesterday, Deja Frasier. She escaped captivity, right? We're going to go over that. So a bunch of things to talk about today. Also, huge shout out to Hindsight and 5D. So 5D did a condensed version of what Brittany Gosney's interrogation looked like for the murder of her son, James Hutchinson, right? But I did a very long version. Like, we went over the whole entire interrogation with her boyfriend, who didn't like James, by the way. So similar to Sebastian's case, although I think Sebastian could still be out there. That's the one caveat, but it's a smaller condensed version. We also went over the polygraphs in that. They were given to Brittany Gosney. So those two are convicted. James has never been found. So big shout out to 5D for doing that, because I want to share that out today and go over it as well. And then Hindsight did a short, right? Voices of Truth, Hindsight 2020, excuse me, Hindsight 2002. I can't believe I got that wrong. And then BMW Coupe. I think she goes by the Coupe now, because I did watch, I catch them a lot on the replay. So wanted to share that because she took part of the lights video, part of what Bobby the neighbor said, and then part of what Katie said to Nancy Grace, which we just went over that yesterday and last night. I was talking about it heavily because it's a theory that I'm absolutely have been working on for the longest, right? It's important to go back to these moments when Katie is telling us information, whether it's truthful or not. It always needs to be re-examined. So I'm going to play that piece that she played. I shared it on my community post, but it's a short, right? So we have a hell of a show. Girl power, standing together on the streets, putting pressure on. We need to put pressure on. In Sebastian's case, this is the time. We didn't go to Tennessee for nothing. I know I didn't drive my ass down there for nothing. I drove down there to make a difference, and we did. I believe we did, because there's more and more people standing out and saying, no, this is not good enough. This is not right. I'm here to tell you, this man saying he didn't mean to show her. It was a photo fumble, like a snuggle struggle. Oh, no, no, no. No. There were 6 to 8 pictures that he accidentally showed her. Wood chipper time. Chuchi, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for always putting in the disclaimers. Even though we're a day show, guys, we are colorful over here, right? We talk about tough subjects. I don't sugarcoat it. I can't. I'm incapable of doing it. You guys wouldn't get the genuine, authentic me if I wasn't doing that. Linda Nunley, thank you. So good to see you. And let's see, Holly is here. Hey, Holly. And Lisa King, so good to see you. And KJ Mack. Hey, KJ Mack. And also, let's see, Mama is here. Hey, Mama. And Cinderella, good to see you, Cinderella. Hey, Brenda Calvert. I think this is where I start putting up. And Lisa, thank you so much for watching. So we did another interrogation, because this is another thing that I've been working on. When it comes to interrogations, and why one wasn't performed on Chris and Katie. Why are they able to play with toys and Eric Craddock is fine with it? Why are they able to get away with whatever they've done? I can't say they're getting away with murder, but it sure feels that way. It feels like they're getting off scot-free. No, again, not acceptable. So we've been going over these. We went over another one, Tracy Jones, right? She better watch her speed over there, but she is in prison for her involvement in taking the life brutally of her coworker just in order for them to get a payout of about $1.3 million from the law firm that they worked at over near Macon, Georgia. Right. So if you haven't had a chance to go over my review of Mr. Black, please, it's a part 1 and part 2. I know there's a lot of drama on the streets that you guys would probably much rather watch, but what I need you guys to focus on, if you really care about finding Sebastian, is why these people have not been interrogated properly. Did Katie lawyer up? That's one big reason. But if we look back at these interrogations, when there is something, again, people don't just go poof. They don't just vanish. I heard Savannah Guthrie say that about her mother. They don't just vanish. She knows that damn well. She's covered how many cases? I'm not a huge fan of Savannah, but you know what? My heart goes out to her. I was crying with her when she did the interview with Hoda. It's absolutely so sad. And people don't just vanish. Love you too, Mama, and thank you for being here. And I know these subjects are tough, guys. I know that it's not probably the best part of your day to tune into Lady Freedom when I'm talking about Chester cheetahs and little girls getting scooped up in the middle of the day and taken for days and put in a house somewhere, but she escapes. I understand that it's not easy for a lot of you guys to reconcile in your head that your community members, the teachers, are showing these children inappropriate photos and then lying on the student. And the student has to come up in all of her classy and beautiful way and say, no, that's not what happened. I mean, I can't say it better myself than what the victim here, the survivor, Mackenzie. Because here's the thing, Mackenzie could have been scared. There's certain physiological and we're hardwired to survive. So there's certain things that we do in a scenario that is traumatic, right? There's fight, flight, freeze, and appease. Those 4. So if she would have froze and not done anything in that moment, which I think there was a bit of that, but then she never did anything after that, and she appeased this guy. Make no mistake about it, and I said it from day 1. That man was grooming that young woman, and he showed her that to see what she was going to do about it. Was she going to freeze and appease? Was she going to fight? She fought. She didn't run away. She fought. He wasn't banking on that. He messed with the wrong one. And her parents, they ain't having it. Her dad was up at the school board. We again, I have that on a video. Please go watch that, man. Take 5 minutes out of your day. Go watch what he has to say. This was not an accident. And something needs to be done because it will continue. Lisa King, so good to see you. Holly, let's see who else is here. Sorry, guys. Hey, Gina, good to see you, Gina. And let's see, Devin is here. Hey, Devin, my PTSD. Good to see you, girl. Welcome in, guys. So yeah, we just have so much to go over. Yeah, exactly. Accident, my butt. I know what you meant with 2 T's, Sandy. Right? Hey, Sandy. Gosh, and that's right. Enough is enough, Chuchi. I mean, it is just unbelievable, all of this stuff that has been coming out lately. I mean, just left, right. There's a whole, I got into the algorithm there's a whole channel it's called like Scandal or Scandalous, where they do segments all the time on adults behaving badly with children. We'll just put it that way. It's so horrible, you know? Well, exactly. Hey, that's another fight mechanism there. You know, a man shows you a peepee, you might Lorena Bobbitt that shit. You know, I mean, rightfully so. Rightfully so, you know? And Sandy, I know there's just so much friggin' drama. I mean, left, that's another thing. I can't, I'm trying to get out of that algorithm by ignoring a lot of it. But sometimes I click on it too. I mean, look, I'm just saying it's tough not to click on some of that. But in the same way, once you get away from you, and that's another thing too, because I've been asked to help with a campaign against the trauma. So I'm going to be taking that as a leader, right? A leadership role, and I'm going to not watch the drama. Somebody told me last night that I value their opinion, highly regarded by me. Their opinion is very important to me, which I only have a certain amount of people that I've given that trust to. But I will tell you, I myself don't need to be in the drama, because if I'm in the drama, the crama, I'm not doing true crime. I'm not advocating for kids. I'm not listening to Mackenzie speak. I'm not listening to her father speak. I'm not watching her mom and dad get together as a united front. I'm not doing that, right? Because my time is busy with the crama. So if I'm telling you guys to stop watching it, don't give it the views, I need to do the same thing. So, no, it's hard, because there are some things where you're like, I wonder what crazy old Julie's doing today, stuff like that. I get it. So, but yeah, go dad. And Holly, her mom is so pretty, right? She looks just like her mom. Really, really strong girl. And I'm just really proud that she did what she was supposed to do. She did exactly the right thing. The sad part is that the teacher first did a horrible thing, then the school just let it happen. The school just allowed for it. Like, oh well, right? It was a photo fumble. Whoopsie. No, a whoopsie would have looked a lot different. We're going to talk about that. Yeah, Brenda, and that's the thing. That's why, and this is the thing. The kids are going to emulate the parents. The way the parents handled it was really, really well. I was saying about the dad. I think his name is Roger, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll see it in the news. I was like, he's being so good, right? Because I myself wouldn't have been that good. They would have probably had to carry me out, do the night at the Apollo, get her off the podium, right? Because I would have just probably lost my shit on the whole school board and everyone else. F your tenure, oh boy, I would have gotten heated, right? But he kept his cool. And then so did his wife. They did a very classy interview. And then you see their daughter. And, Brenda says what awesome parents that girl has. They taught her well and have showed her how to be strong and do the right thing. Boom, Brenda, exactly. It takes the parents, it takes a village. When we talk about taking a village, we're talking about teachers. We're talking about neighbors looking out for kids. If I saw a little kid and they were riding their bike and they fell off their bike and skinned their knee, I would go help them. I think 90% of us would be going to help that child without ill intentions, but just to help them. Hey, buddy, are you okay? Do you need me to call your mom? Things like that. Where do you live? Can I help walk you home? And actually walk these children home. You got people snatching these kids up off the streets. They're walking their dog, as that little girl Frasier was doing. No way. There's no reason. Yes, he definitely miscalculated. So KJ Mac, I'm just gonna say it, and I obviously he's not been charged, but in my heart of hearts, the patterns in these disgusting Chester cheetahs, their behavior tells me that he was showing her that to see what would happen next. That was the introduction. Oh, here's a project on my cell phone. No, that needs to stop too. Stop giving these people in the positions of trust too much, because if you don't really know who that person is, which none of us do, right? It catches us off guard. And sometimes we trust people we're not supposed to. Sometimes we miscalculate. But I think that he was trying to see what would happen, if she would accept, if she would appease, right? Because make no mistake, he traumatized her, right? So, and very much a judge, a poor judge of character, very much, and his wife too. And nothing has been done yet, and the school board isn't even investigating it. The school board is refusing to investigate it until the police investigation is over with, and then they're going to do an internal investigation. What are they waiting for? You know? 5 minutes can be a long time. I agree, Devin. I agree. Linda Nunley says, in my opinion, I believe Sheriff Snuggle Struggle was paid off to KP and CP out of the system, in my opinion. Well, and I don't know. It certainly seems like money is involved. Power, or also social status, right? Even though when we look at Chris Proudfoot, he reminds us of Cousin Eddie on Christmas Vacation. He does me anyway. He's like, oh, you gonna eat that, Clark? He's an idiot. He's a freaking idiot, this guy. The only reason why any of us give him the time of day is because we're fucking trying to study him. Talk about this case will be studied. No, we're studying you, Chris, and your wife, because we want to know where is Sebastian. Period. I mean, but in his little pea brain, he thinks he's something special. He thinks he's going to break the internet, which is weird. If a viral puppy can't break the internet, you're not going to, Proudfoot. Hate to break it to you, big man baby, Miss Chrissy Pissy Pants. My mommy put me in the corner. It's very eye-opening, Holly. It is. It's very eye-opening. And I think it's important for us to continue the conversation, as much as possible, because there's a lot of stuff going out, on there. Yeah, I told Sinner that I watch In the Bushes on the replay a lot, because sometimes I don't get to catch him, but I put little palm trees, since I'm in Florida. So I put me in like watching In the Bushes. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. He does a little bit of it, but it's more of a chill vibe about it. Like if I'm taking a break, I'll go watch, especially if he's live. If I do see him live, or something. But I try to catch everything, because a lot of times it's the topics that you guys want to talk about. And I am doing my show. A big part of it is for the viewers, right? It's for you guys. It's what do I think that you guys are going to want to discuss, but also I can't lie, and it's very obvious that I have an agenda. Stand up for the children. Find Sebastian Rogers. Tennessee, what the hell is with this corruption? How is it that you guys have so many good people that you're letting down there? How could you do it to Sebastian? Of all people, he does not deserve this. So no, I don't, Holly. I try to kind of keep up a little bit here and there with, like, what's going on. Court cases. There's an active court case, I guess, so but it is a huge distraction, and I can't be listening to everything. Like, we only have so many hours in the day. We only have so much time on the planet. And the trauma, those people are the most lying, conniving, evil people. And I don't know how it's, well, I can't even say I don't know. I do know, because I've researched it. I know it comes from the actual drama community and spilled over into true crime. So, Thank you, Holly. This is what I love when people can tell me, like, here's a timestamp of something really messed up, and then I can watch just that. Because sometimes it's like a 12-hour live, and I can't, say that I don't do long lives either, but I can't. I mean, and then I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for the big news, right? So I'm like, and then I put it on triple speed, and then I'm all of a sudden I'm not paying attention at all. I'm like, fuck, now I have to go back. I mean, it's like timestamps are always appreciated for everything because it's tough to watch the whole thing. And it is a huge shame. Okay, so Holly, they absolutely covered this up and didn't tell the parents until well after. So it kind of progressed and exploded towards the end of March here, as well. So um, the dad did awesome. My PTSD. Well, and I think, moms, we are expected, right? Which I'm fine with that. I mean, moms are expected. Moms are the nurturers. Moms are the ones that protect the kids like a mama bear, right? That's what we do. Dads protect the family too. I'm not saying that, but when you see a dad stand up like that and just have a speech prepared and know what he's gonna say, it gets all of our heartstrings a lot too. I think more men need to stand up. More men should be searching for Sebastian on their free time. Why are you guys letting us women do it? If you guys are so strong, if you guys are so big and bad, where the hell are you at? You know? So you are such a shit. I know he says I take all of his stuff, but Seth, I'm seriously working on a magical place where we can just imagine that we're sending these people to, right? And it's called Wood Chipper Island. It's called Wood Chipper Island. Okay. It's wood chipper time instead of island time. Now stop giving me ideas. And see, this is the thing when you inspire this stuff, don't be mad when you see a video because you know it's coming. Good to see you, Seth, always. Oh, with AI, we don't even need school anymore. Ask questions and get. Well, I mean, here's the thing about AI. I'm kind of untrusting of it, but I'm also I'm in the know about it, and I think it can be used for positive purposes. Any of it can be. So you'll probably hear me call that out sometimes, Devin, like, this freaking AI, and then I'll be like, this is an AI version of this. I got this from AI, because that happens a lot. Hey, Runs with Scissors, good to see you. Uh, the co-hos, New York, all the kids have to walk. They have no buses. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. They're just snatching these kids up. And that's what happened to that little girl in Ohio. So, yeah, Sandy. Sandy says my daughter has to lock up her phone and all the teachers do, but the kids do not. Huh. I think why have the cell phones if you got the computers and stuff? I mean, now you know what's scary though? If there's a school shooting and their phones are locked. This is the thing. So, we really have to cover all of our bases. I don't know what the fix is. I don't know what the solutions are, but I think there's ways of putting our heads together and trying to figure it out. Um, how about keep your phone in your knapsack or now I sound old. Keep your phone in your backpack and don't take it out. And it's zero tolerance. If I see it out, you're in detention or whatever. Do they do detention anymore? I don't know. But keep it on your person. Do not pull it out in the class and start using it. And certainly the teacher should never show content because look, there could be an instant where, a child sees something they're not supposed to, right? And the mother is going to kind of, when she's talking to her daughter to get a better understanding, she's going to ask, was it something that was just out, or was it something, that was showed, like he physically showed it to you, right? And you guys are gonna hear this brave young lady. Linda, I'll tell you what, you know what? The kids and everybody, these brave little girls out here, they're the ones that deserve the recognition. But thank you. I appreciate that so much, Linda. You're a sweetheart. But they do, they deserve it because they're, clawing their way out of this weirdo, and these old dusty farts, don't get me started on the old dusty farts. I mean, they need to keep it in the pants and appropriate and mm-mm. I think Tennessee has a real issue, and currently I heard Blackburn is going to be the next governor. Wow. Really? How do they even know that? I mean, I get that they can do like polling and, ask the people before, but like it's weird how they call it. They're like, she's going to be, it's like they're not elected, they're appointed. I mean, yeah, I know I'm preaching to the choir stuff, but wow, you know, um, that's not anywhere that I would want to be. Even though I love Tennessee, you guys know, I've told you ever since I went there, I went through there coming to Florida. I'm like, wow, Tennessee's beautiful. Georgia is beautiful. Like these states are, I had never seen them before, right? So, but then I met people in Tennessee and I have ties to Tennessee through a lot of really good people. And I just hate to see that, right? Because nobody should be, this isn't, some kind of monarchy. It's fun to watch, right? But I mean, we don't want to play Game of Thrones and be under dictatorships and all this. I mean, come on. It's not um it's unconstitutional. It's not a part of the way the system was intended. Um and I'm the last one to give a politics lesson, but well, when we see the kind of corruption at that level, because that's the way I see it. Look, I've said it too. I'm from Chicago. The Daily's running shit for years and years and years. It doesn't ever turn out well. It just breeds corruption, So, yeah, I like the music. I think that's the vibe, the chill vibe, right, Sandy? Um, I think so too, runs with scissors. I think that, and see, that's what we were talking about. And that's why I was like, oh my gosh, hindsight. Like when I saw her short, I was like, yes, this is the part, right? These are the parts all together of what happened. Like this is a mini theory, right? That's been something that, I mean, if we just listen to Katie's words and we're just going off of what she has told us that she thinks happened, because we don't get a lot of that. This is not something that we have many, many examples of, right? We have many, many examples of Katie telling a messed up story where she adds details as needed because she knows she was caught on camera or because she knows there was speculation. We still don't know what was said to the police officers, like 5D said. So again, and we've been working on this for a long time with the why was there no interrogation, right? And I think, I mean, here's the background for that, and maybe I should have used that one today, but it's because of the Foot Clan, the Stinky Foots. Why are they getting a free pass? Why are they getting off? And why are people covering it up? Here, I'll put myself up here. There we go. There's Sebastian's beautiful face. And I like this picture of Sebastian because he's kind of looking over like, yeah, exactly. What? We the people, stand up for me. I need you guys to push. I need you guys to keep putting pressure on. Yeah, leave everything in your pants. Seth, for sure. Keep our hands to ourselves. Isn't that what we learned in school? I remember the teachers always telling us that. Kids, keep your hands to yourselves, stuff like that. Put your hands down at your side in line. Like, do we not do that anymore? I mean, I get it. They're a little bit more relaxed in school, I guess. But maybe they need to be a little bit more structured. in a way of keeping your, it can't be willy-nilly. Look, there's too much room for error in any of us. We're adults. For one, we're going to have adult content on our phone. Okay? I'm not faulting the man for that. What I'm faulting him for is showing it to a student, and obviously it wasn't a mistake. And we kind of kept it a little bit neutral. I always believe the victim, and especially when I heard her father speak. Okay, wait a minute. Now we're going to hear her mom. And let me pull it up. We're going to hear her mother talk about, because the first thing Mackenzie did, which is a beautiful thing, and it like got my heartstrings, because I'm a mom and I have a daughter, and my daughter would be saying the same thing to me. Like if I started asking, no, mom, and like it just really got me. So moms out there, this is gonna pull on your heartstrings, but I think we need to hear it, because there was online speculation, there was people trying to minimize, and here are the people that were trying to minimize the most, in my opinion. All right, and again, this was on March 24th, 2026. They did a meeting at the school board, and everyone brought their signs and showed support. And, there's many children that went through and were feeling uncomfortable. That was also said by her father. All right, guys. So this little Piggly Wiggly right here, Josh Wiki, we've made a quite the example of this guy in the last couple of days, right? But this is something that was being echoed, and this statement pretty much sums it up, right? And he writes on shortly after the incident, right? So this is March 17th, 2026. He writes, the student seems to think it was an accident. The sheriff's department thinks it was an accident. It appears all party believes it's an accident, right? And then I got, our little friend here, he's hilarious. You are really dumb, right? And some little Piggly Wigglies. This is ridiculous, right? So we're going to hear from Mackenzie about her actual experience, not what all of these crapheads are saying about it online. So...
even ask her if she had happened to see something that was just laying on the desk that may have been open. She said, no, Mom, no, like you don't understand. She was like, he showed me in his hand pictures, and she was hysterical. She was terrified.
That is the mother of a 17-year-old Montgomery County girl who says her physics teacher showed her nude photos of himself on his phone in the classroom.
The school district is calling this an accident, but Mackenzie Ellithorpe says it was anything but.
And tonight, for the first time, she is telling her story.
Her family reached out to our Patsy Montesinos because they wanted answers, and because Mackenzie had something to say to other young people who have ever felt alone in a moment like this.
That was me. Right there.
Mackenzie Ellithorpe isn't your typical senior at Montgomery Central High School. She's a cheerleader turned wrestler.
Not seeing your purpose does not mean that you do not have a purpose.
Who spends her time...
Okay, guys, so there's Mackenzie. She's at church. She's making a speech. A strong little girl, right? She was on the cheer team, also did wrestling, right? He messed with the wrong one. Hey, Nano. And then, he did. He messed with the wrong one. And it is awful, Cinderella. I think he absolutely had pictures of himself like in the buff, right, for his girlfriend's Holly. That's my best guess. I don't think those were for his wife, but I mean, I could be wrong. But my initial impression would be that he was, you know, I mean, and also, how many other little girls did he swipe right or left on? Hello? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, here's a science project of my eggplant. No. No, sir. No, sir. Mm-mm. And then he's working remotely. So he still has access to what? And this is the big question too I have. But yeah, he messed with the wrong one right here. Beautiful young lady, intelligent, knows that she has a purpose in life. When you're 17 and you can understand and grasp the fact that you have a purpose on this earth, um, that's an amazing young person right there, right? Because she recognizes that early, that hey, God put me here for a reason. Many of us take a long time to figure that out or to actually believe it.
Preaching about finding God's plan for your life.
She's an amazing girl. She is very amazing. And for this to happen to her, it shouldn't have.
But Mackenzie's parents say on March 9th, something happened while she was talking to her science teacher.
He showed me a picture, and it was like a project that he was working on. And then he swiped over, and it was full nude photo.
The 17-year-old ran to call her mom, confused and in shock.
I just called her and told her everything. And I didn't really know what to think because I was like, Mom, like, I don't understand what I did or why he's doing that.
You did nothing wrong, and you did exactly, precisely what you were supposed to do. Immediately call your mom. Immediately, right? And tell your mom. 100%. And, her mom is just beautiful like her, like looks just like her mom. I could cry. Her feeling this way over being sent something like this, right? What did I do to deserve this? Nothing besides this dusty old fart with his baby carrot. Thank you, Seth. With his little winky baby carrot, thought he was something and wanted to show it to a little girl, right? A young woman. Disgusting. Disgusting. Uncalled for. Never deserved, not wanted. But yet, oh, it was an accident. Nope, we're going to find out it wasn't.
So you were blaming yourself at the beginning?
Yeah, just because, like, I looked up to him because he was my teacher. And so I'm like, why me?
I looked up to him because he was my teacher. Now, guys, we've been talking a lot about positions of trust, positions of power. A lot comes with it. With great power comes great responsibility, right? And here, this man is someone that this little girl looks up to as a role model. And he's doing this. What a violation of trust. And how dare he do it? My PTSD, I see. Oh my goodness. I bet she was like an AI, Oh my goodness. Well, and it's sad, but many of these puny little men really have a high regard for themselves, right? They really think they're something. And that, this little girl wants anything to do with his big bald head and nasty body. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? Absolutely insane. Now, again, Haley's Law is being pushed really hard in Indiana. I think it should be everywhere. I think the awareness for this type of behavior, because this little girl nipped it right in the bud, right? Fight, flight, freeze, appease. She fought and ended it. That's it. Sometimes people are in, and especially when you're younger, you're in such a shock that, I mean, all of this running through her head, right? When this is happening, why would he do this? But this is my teacher. But I thought I could trust Mr. Eggplant. Not so fast, right? And it should be zero tolerance. Like, none of us parents should ever, ever, ever corrupt our kids or think it's okay. I don't care if she's seen it before or not on the internet or whatever. I don't care if she's seen it before, but this is the thing. We're going to find out that she is doing bigger and better things with her life that she's not, into or watching or doing any of this stuff. But here he is to corrupt her. Disgusting. Despicable. Disgraceful. And it wasn't accidental, very intentional. And we'll hear more.
Family called the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office.
For her to see somebody that she sees every day, that is her teacher, and to purposely show her, holding something out and showing her, that's disgusting, and it scared her.
It's traumatizing.
And she had never seen anything like that before.
In a statement, the school district says law enforcement is investigating teacher Matthew Vetter, who they say accidentally and briefly displayed an inappropriate photo.
When that happened, did it seem to you like it was an accident?
No, because, I feel like if it was an accident, he could have jerked his phone away. He could have said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." Like, you were not supposed to see that, but that's not what happened.
Hello? Guys, the first thing, that's any reaction to something that you're like, oh my God. Okay, and not only would that happen, I would have turned 75 shades of red, and then I would have immediately taken it to the principal and said, oh my God. Do you know what I just did? That's an innocent accident. That's a photo fumble. I don't think so. No, this was intentional. This was to see how far he could get. So, no. Nothing about this was accidental. Well, let's watch.
He just kept sliding?
Pretty much, yeah.
In total, how many, pictures do you think you saw?
It was somewhere between 6 to 8.
The district.
It was somewhere between 6 to 8. So she's probably standing there shocked, and he's just like, what an idiot. Makes me want to send him to the island. Sayonara. For real. And Seth, take your time. No rush. No rush at all. But yeah, I think, look, the more that we can better society from our personal experiences, I think is a big part of our purpose. I think that's what God is looking for us to do. And when you are putting together such a powerful law, Sebastian's law is so powerful. Again, just the mere fact that these dads, these parents who love their children are dusting themselves off and getting back up and saying, you know what? This cannot happen to any other families. This cannot happen to another child ever, is beyond commendable and admirable, because I don't know where I would be. I don't. So, yeah, anything to help better society. And we all can do our part. There's all special talents and God-given abilities that are the reason and what God has given us as tools to carry out our purpose. And again, the fact that this little girl knows this, the fact that she was so strong, the fact that she's saying, look, it was multiple photos. Accidentally 6 to 8, Lisa. Yeah, right. Like I said, that's 6 to 8 tickets for the island, in my opinion. Right? Because look, this is just someone who spoke out about it. There were other little girls, and it's been alleged by her father as well at the board meeting, saying there were girls that were scared before this happened, and there were little girls who were more comfortable after this happened. That speaks volumes. And the fact that the parents went out and talked to other parents is exactly what needs to be done. We have to communicate parent to parent. We have to know who our kids are hanging out with. We have to know who their parents are. To a certain extent, it really helps. And we have to communicate because, look, when things like this are going on in silence, that's the only way to draw it out. Is more people saying, me too. Yes, that happened to me as well. Yes, I experienced that. That's the only way, is courage. And it takes a lot. Guys, I only put one negative comment and used it as an example. There were so many, and I don't want to give them any attention, but there were so many, it was disgusting. Oh, well, maybe he did this, and oh, well, I mean, she should have been looking at his phone, and, and blaming her and saying that he didn't mean to. No. 6 to 8 pictures is not an accident. And again, as she so eloquently stated, if it was an accident, then he would have said, I mean, oh, I'm so sorry. Then you would have been fumbling. Let me tell you about a fumble. That occurs after you think you just showed one of your 17-year-old students a full body eggplant. Excuse me? Put your dusty, old, wrinkly, gnarly ass self back in your pants. You dirty fuck, is all I gotta say. Very unwanted. And here's the thing, Holly. Where was he sitting? Was he sitting next to her? How close was he? What was going on? What really happened? Because here's the thing. This little girl had to go tell her mom and call her mom and let her mom know. It's not like anything was done by the school. So it's absolutely, and I think it's grooming to the essay. I think it's the introduction. So, I mean, I'm telling you, they're so wrong for keeping it under the rug. KJ Max says 6 to 8 swipes is what 5 to 8 photos means. Exactly. There's an off button if he realized one click to darken the screen. Oh, exactly. Exactly, KJ. He just go click and that's it. No, this is so intentional. This is so being covered up. And somebody in the school board meeting had a sign that said, this isn't the first cover up. We stand with the kids. I think so. Chuchi says he should be charged for showing the pornographics to a young minor, right? And we have to say it that way. And that's the thing that really ticks me off more than anything. Hey, Kylie's nail candy. Like, it's like, you'll be in trouble for saying it. Well, what about them being in trouble for actually doing it? Oh, and then we're not supposed to talk about it? That's us sweeping it under the rug, too. Baby carrot. Seth. Oh my gosh. My Lord. It is victim blaming at its finest. It is. And, I just really commend this little girl for coming up and saying, look, no, this is what actually happened. And if he didn't mean to show me, then he wouldn't have kept us swiping, right? Really, really brave. Aw, Linda. I mean, this is the thing. We all have to, even if we don't have school age kids, or because I just think back to when my daughter was little, I would never want that to happen to her. I'd be livid. I'd be at the school raising hell. And people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, again, hats off to the parents that kept their cool, that were able to go in there and say, okay, oh, I'm sure they were seething, but they did such a good job. And again, on the news here, if he had apologized and taken accountability, it may have gotten him far. Right, but it wasn't an accident in my opinion. Exactly, Holly. Like if he would have went and said, "Oh my gosh," or even in the moment said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," and then maybe he was shocked, and then maybe he was like, "Oh my God, I don't want to lose my job." But again, we're going to find out more about his job. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I know, and I hate it, Chuchi, because we have to say these words, and it's like I would offend everybody and say every word I could because I mean, look, if we minimize it, then we're part of the problem and not part of the solution. Right. I agree, Linda. I think so too. I think so too. I think he needs to lose his job and be brought up on charges. And it's being normalized. Holly, that's it. That is the hell of all of it, is that it's being so normalized. And here we are. I mean, kids must be so confused nowadays. Wait, I'm going to church, they're telling me to be virtuous. I'm going to school, they're showing me an eggplant. What? Like, uh-uh. That's mixed signals. That's you know, a mind F. That's like a kid going, what the hell am I supposed to do? I don't know what's right, But then again, when you have that strong core family, it makes a huge difference. We have to be there for these kids, or at least let them know that not all adults are disgusting, because it's seeming like a lot of them are. In our school district, a student was saying little girls as a volunteer elementary education. Oh, really? Oh my gosh, Cinderella. Wow. And guys, it's everywhere. This is the big issue. Because if it was only in Montgomery County, if it was only in Sumner County, if it was only, only in Tennessee, I mean, it'd be a much easier fix. Gosh, Cinderella, that's terrible. If the school is trying to sweep it under the rug and says it's an accident, it makes me think that there's more under the rug. Yeah. And they were pretending it didn't happen. And that's what the parents were saying, Chuchi. I mean, that's what their signs were saying. That's why I zoomed in on the signs. And I'm like, look what the parents are saying. Look what the community is saying. You know? That's right, Sharon. There's sickos across the nation. Yes, please attend school board meetings and save our children. We are all busy, but we must make time for this important issue. I agree. I agree. And, it takes all of us to stand up and let them know we're here, right? We're not having it. We do not condone this. We don't. Um, the principal turned it in, the school board covered it up. The teacher went to the media, school system failed. The school system was fined. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, money is what's covering it up, right? And these parents at this point, they're not saying they're going to sue or anything. They're saying, I want this to be acknowledged and we want accountability. That's all they're asking for. It's much easier to throw some money at it. Oh, here you go. This is for my indiscretion. It's like, it makes you feel so dirty. That evil, rotten money. Here you go. Here's a sweaty stack of money for you. Ew. Disgusting. Keep it. Burn it. I don't want it. The other option would be to flip the phone over on its face. KJ Solutions. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. She says, I'm sorry, but it's just not possible. And as Seth asked, did he take the photos? The metadata would, show where and when the photos are taken. Apparently he deleted, they see, and this is the thing, KJ. The police said that he deleted Montgomery County, where you at, saying that he deleted it right after he showed her. Now, deleted it is different than deleted them. And now we're finding out that there were multiple photos. So that means that he also deleted 6 to 8 photos, no? Or am I overstepping? Am I getting ahead of myself? You know? I don't think I am. I don't think I'm getting ahead of myself, because I wondered that the other day too. Am I getting ahead of myself? This guy hasn't been charged. They're still investigating him. He's still innocent until proven guilty. Well, guess what? We are not held to that standard in the court of public opinion. And that's the beauty of it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They moved him. It'll say in, I'll play it right now because I'm caught up in chat. But yeah, like, they're not doing much. We'll just put it that way. And
Says Vetter, who is the husband of Clarksville Montgomery County School Superintendent Dr. Jean Luna Vetter, was reassigned off campus. The superintendent has recused herself from the investigation.
Right. So he was assigned off campus. We don't know what he's doing or where he's at. If he has access to children's records, we don't know. We don't know what he's doing. But his wife, turd number 2 over here. We got turd 1 and turd 2. Here, let me just back this up a little bit. There we go. Oh, there you guys are. That's cute. All right, we got turd 1 and turd 2, and she has recused herself. So I'm not going to be handling any of the disciplinary actions on my husband. No, nothing to see, nothing to worry about here. Just 2 turds trying to pass ourselves off as, polished. 367 sickos happen to be the House of Representatives, just saying. I mean, and that's the main issue. That's the main issue, right? To the highest degree. So who do we go to when they're all condoning this behavior? He cannot delete it. It's in the cloud in the phone, and it's out there, and people in the police know how to get it. I know, Miss Ann. I'm telling you what, it's good to see you, hon. And I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Look, it's not gone forever. And here's the thing, if he physically, and they'll be able to tell this too, if he deleted it when it happened, and then he went over and deleted it out of his deleted photos, because they do stay in a different file, then he deleted it twice. What a nasty turd. I mean, just a geriatric prick. Even when deleted, the phone company can get the record. Amen, KJ. No, or not the actual photo, but the delete date. And data still exists. I had this exact situation 15 years ago. Yeah, and the thing is that they can absolutely retrieve. I mean, that's the good part, right? And then sometimes you don't know it could be deleted up into the cloud, right? Like the Google storage and things like that. It's very hard to delete something forever, so, what did I say? Oh, God only knows what's going to fly out of my mouth on a day like this.
Was reassigned off campus. The superintendent has recused herself from the investigation. The district says Vetter didn't have any past complaints in his file and has been a tenured teacher since 2020.
A place where you send your child to be educated and protected, and then them to be violated.
But Ashley and Adam Ellithorpe say they have been left in the dark.
We've heard nothing from anyone, and that's the scary thing. They've taken no accountability for their actions. None.
Now, Mackenzie says she no longer feels safe at school, but she's speaking up for others.
The reason I wanted to share my story and everything was because I don't want anybody else to feel like they're alone in what's going on. If it's mental health, if it's anything like that,
Okay, really quick, guys. I don't want to cut her off, but I think a big part of what she's saying right now is going back to what her dad was saying, that, she wants other girls to feel like they're not alone if they're feeling that way, right? Because there could be, And I would venture to say there is other instances where he has forced himself onto younger ladies, children who didn't want them to, didn't want to see him, didn't want none of that. Ugh.
Just want you to know, like, you have people to support you and you have a community that will help you.
Finding her own purpose, the message she's always shared.
God never stopped working on my purpose.
No charges have been filed. The school board says the sheriff's office, the DCS, and district attorney investigating. Sheriff's office confirms the March 9th incident. They're still investigating. It's going to be reviewed by the DA once complete. School board says it won't begin its own internal investigation until law enforcement finishes theirs. So for Mackenzie and her family tonight, the wait continues, but Pat's will be sure to stay on this story.
All right. So again, they're doing nothing. The police are investigating it. How long does it take, right? Or what are they waiting on? Maybe they're waiting on some of this data to come back, right? Maybe they had to retrieve deleted files, delete dates, as you guys are saying in the chat. Obviously, there's always a footprint. So at this juncture, I'm going to say I hope that whoever is on this case doesn't just write it off as a photo fumble, because it's not, right? It's not. It's clearly a serious matter that was intentional, in my opinion. Right. And again, protecting predators makes you a predator. Your silence is deafening. Not the first cover-up. We stand with the kids. Drain the CMCSS swamp. Right? Epstein list, CMCSS list. Right? Forget that one. We got a list of our own. Right? And again, this is detailed. This is giving specific dates that I cannot read. I wish I could, or I'd read them all off to you. Maybe these are some of the girls, some of the people. We don't know. It happens to little boys too. Maybe these are some of the people that Mackenzie was referring to, that you're not alone. You're not alone. You have a community that loves you. These are the good people in the community that are not having it. And God bless them, and Godspeed. All right, and here's the director of schools getting paid, $250,000 a year. Oh, sorry, $225,000. My bad. The wood chipper showed nudes to a 17-year-old. There we are, Matt Vetter. Matt Vetter. And his wife did nothing. Nothing. Yeah, exactly. They should be more careful, as they know not what they release when they go after the wrong families. Exactly. And that's the thing. You will wake sleeping dragon when you do it. I'm telling you, a mama bear, she's not going to handle this. It's not going to be do nothing like his wife. I don't know what's wrong with this woman. She needs her head checked. If he done it once, he has done it before, and probably will do it again, in my opinion. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. But they're saying, he's okay because he has tenure. F his tenure. I don't give a shit about it. And neither should anyone else. You do wrong. It doesn't matter how long you've been here. I don't care. And again, I believe it, Chuchi. I believe it. I think that he absolutely did it before. I think that this was kind of like a dry run, so to speak. Like, let's see what she'll do if I show her this, right? It was his introduction, so to speak. What a freaking sicko. Nasty old dusty fart. Facts, Chuchi. Yeah, KJ. I mean, and runs with scissors. Here she is. She did nothing. Oh, it's okay. I'm not gonna reprimand him. What? Are you doing enough of it at home? Because I'm telling you what, he should have been packing his bags. Right? So definitely intentional and unacceptable. F your tenure. I forgot I put this at the end. I made this early this morning, right? But it's time to take a stand against this. It's time to take a stand and stop allowing for it, right? So I wanted to show you guys another strong little girl. So give me 1 second. And we're going to pull that in. I got it over here. All right. All right, so I did share it here.
Welcome to the new generation of web creation, where words can launch a business.
An update tonight in one of our missing in Michigan cases. The family of 14-year-old Deja Frasier spent this afternoon canvassing the neighborhood, handing out flyers and asking for help as Detroit police continue the search for her. Police say she was last seen March 3rd, leaving her home on Biltmore near 7 Mile and Evergreen, walking her dog, and neither she nor the dog has come back home.
Okay, guys, so her and her dog, she was taking the dog for a walk, and she gets snatched up, right? And here's her family, desperate, searching for her, right? And so I shared this out yesterday. I didn't realize that she escaped. I didn't realize this, right? But now we know, so I'll go ahead and show you guys this amazing story.
Detroit police and family members urging anybody with information to come forward.
Wherever you at, whoever got her, please let her go. Let her go. She got a lot of family that care about her.
Aw, yes, they do. Look at them out there, guys. And again, this is what families do. This is what it looks like when someone cares about their missing loved one. They go out there, they show the picture, they show concern. Where is this 14-year-old?
And we out here every day searching for you, posting everywhere. People we don't know just posting your flyers. Just come home, Deja.
I just want my sister to come home so she can be safe.
Aw, and this is Deja Frasier, right? And her pit bull, so she had a pit, and he was with her, guys. And typically these dogs do not leave. They don't. They stick by you, right? A dog is loyal, right? But there's beautiful, strong, courageous Deja Frasier.
Take another good look at the picture there. Again, Deja was last seen walking her dog. There's a picture of the little dog there. Police asking anybody with information to call Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-SPEAK-UP. And a reminder, tips can be made anonymously.
Okay, and I want to share this other creator, right? Because they did an update and I thought it was fantastic. So let me go ahead and go here. Give me a second because I did share it out. Here we go. Missing update. And this is the Dynamic Reason channel. And so let me drop that link. Just found this channel today because they were doing an update on Deja. And we're going to hear, a guy's perspective. Again, I love how a lot of these men are standing up against this, right? It's not enough for us women to do it. We, the people, need to stand together. All of us. Right? So the Dynamic Reason channel, full credits to this gentleman. And Here we go. Steve is his name. Here we go. Okay, hold on. Let me, like I said, I just learned of him today. So bear with me. But you know, he's given updates covering this little girl. Fantastic. All right. These are the ones we need, not the ones that want to show their junk.
What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back. And I do appreciate support. Guys, I want to give you an update on a story I did yesterday with a little bit more detail about this predator up here. Guy you see up here is Ronell Agee, 38 years old, from Detroit, Michigan. And what he—
oh, another dusty old fart, dusty and crusty, liking to go over and steal a 14-year-old little girl. I know, Devin. Devin says, hey, I've been called dusty old fart before, and I'm only 40. I know, right? This guy's 38. I'm older than him by about 5 years, and I still call him a dusty old fart. You know, I mean, to these girls, to these young little ones, you know, I mean, they're busted ass, old, nasty Chester cheetah. Ugh.
He did is very significant because it's related to a case of a missing girl that went missing weeks ago out there in Detroit by the name of Deja Frasier, 14 years old. Now, the media hasn't officially came out with it, but this is what this is involving. This guy met this girl and had her in his house, held her captive for a week, did all kind of unspeakable things to her. And I want to show you what the neighbors said about this guy.
Okay, guys, wood chipper island is filling up quick, right? We need to get that wood chipper in place so we can make some more room on the island, right? Because this is a candidate right here, right? Preyed upon this little girl. She's walking her dog. She's got a loving family. Her dog's as cute as can be, right? She's taking him for a walk. And here this old nasty man says, oh, I'm going to grab her up and hold her hostage. I'm going to hold her captive. What the hell?
And it might explain why his house looks the way it does. I want you to take a look at this, and we're going to come back and briefly talk about this. Come on, man. Look.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Roop Raj. We begin with a Fox 2 exclusive. A teenage girl held captive for 10 days. Authorities say she left her Detroit home on her own and ended up with an accused predator. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack is in studio with how she got away. Jess.
Well, Roop, according to police, it was actually all of the media coverage and Detroit police listing her as a missing person.
All right, guys. Wait a minute. What was it that helped find her? Oh, the fact that we knew she was missing. We knew what she looked like, right? Awareness. And Seth is saying up here too. This is an example of what I'm asking for Sebastian's army, right? For Sebastian's law. I mean, these are the things that are so important, right? We need to know what and who we are looking for. Right? We need to know that the person is missing. We need to know what they look like, what they were last seen wearing. You know, that she had a dog with her. I can't believe he had the balls to grab her up with the pit bull in tow. You know, awareness is everything. Awareness is everything. I turned the page in my book of demons. I'm telling you. And, you know, there's plenty of them out there. I mean, just purely evil, but that's how we know. And, you know, something like this could also fall under a pink alert, right? Deja could have fallen under a pink alert, and we could have said she's out there right away. Her family's in the street handing out flyers. Have you seen her? That's another line of defense, guys. That's another line of defense. So well done for her family. You could just feel the love. So authentic.
It finally rattled this guy loose enough to let her go, while she ended up with the 38-year-old on her own. It's unclear exactly how, because according to police, the two were strangers. boarded up windows, no knobs on the doors inside. A teen girl held captive in filth here on Detroit's west side, allegedly by 38-year-old Renelle Agee.
He held her down. She tried to stop.
And look at Renelle Agee in his dirty ass house. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the kind of thing we're dealing with. And this little girl having to go and live in this house with this, in this pigsty. Windows boarded up. It looks like Fidel Castro. Fidel. I always call him. He's bad enough. Ariel Castro's, the Cleveland Three. What, he's trying to do a repeat? Didn't work out for old Ariel. I mean, this poor little girl. That's right. That's right, Seth. I don't like it either because the time is of the essence. I don't like the policy that LE has of a 24-hour before reporting them missing, reporting them as missing. And, in a situation like this too, where a little girl's out walking her dog. I mean, the first thing I thought was abduction. Absolutely. Someone snatched her up, right? So that's why I hurried up and shared it yesterday. And then, of course, I got this update of, oh, great. Look at her. Again, another fighter. She might have had to appease for a little while. He kept her. But she fought. And she escaped. And, again, her parents out there showing, look, our loved one, look, we love her. Our sister's missing. Our family member, our little girl's missing. We need her back. She's 14. She's walking her dog. Where is she? Kids don't just vanish. Never think for 1 minute, if you have a missing kid, don't ever let people tell you that they just disappeared, because they didn't. I'm here to tell you. I'm a nobody, but I can tell you that much. And I will stand behind it. Facts. They say not to judge a book by its cover, but the cover often informs you what the book is about. The house, him, his home unkept. Yep, it says something. I agree. I mean, and look at him. He can't even bother to shave. Can't even bother to get a haircut. I mean, I know. I'm like right there with you, KJ, because I try not to either. Some of these people, I forget, we were going back and forth and someone was sending me, these different fugitives, right? We were looking at them, and some of them looked so clean cut and normal. And I'm like, oh, that's scary as hell. Because at least if we look at Raynell here, we can be like, oh, okay. But then again, sometimes people let us see what they want to see. Because even Ariel Castro, everybody said he was well put together, really clean, really polite out in public. But then you go in his house and it looks like, Raynell's house. So again, it's just that facade. It's the illusion of a good person, right? And this person is anything but that, snatching up a little 14-year-old girl trying to walk her dog, in her neighborhood, where she's more than entitled to do that safely. We should just put the baby carrots and the eggplants in the wood chipper, Cinderella. I'm right there with you. I second that. The show called yeah, exactly. Yeah, Seth, that's right. The show was called The First 48, not the first 48 after after 24. That's funny. I know, exactly. Okay, we're gonna have to wait. It's just like them waiting to do that investigation. Oh, hey, we're gonna hold off on our investigation till the one. No, I think you need to internally investigate your school, Montgomery High School. Please do it for the kids. Devin, that's a really good book, The Hatchet. Devin says, my favorite book is The Hatchet and Where the Red Fern Grows. I'm torn between the two. Yeah, my daughter always liked The Red Fern Grows, too. Or Where the Red Fern Grows. Very, very good. Yeah. I realized that in Sebastian's case, the house was overly orderly. I agree. But then the missing doorknob is a similarity there. See, I agree, KJ. Great catch. That's right. But generally, you want to assess what message someone is trying to send you. Well, and I think if they would have, again, brought everybody down to the station, processed the house, right? I mean, what is Chris what would Chris do? He's all the way in Memphis, or he says he was, right? And I got to drive back, you know? What is he going to do? You know, they really screwed the pooch on it. They really did, because they missed a huge opportunity to gather information and evidence in a controlled manner, and in a way that they could have assessed the situation so much better than they were able to. Just letting, you know, Katie sit in the house crying and not answering questions. Truthfully. Yes, great books, right? Z is for Zachary was one of my favorites. Yeah, really good books, guys. Well, and Elizabeth Smart just being taken right out of her bed. But, you know, that was another person who had access that knew her to a certain extent. Now, this guy's like a complete stranger. So a little different, but I mean, all of these scenarios, they're all strong possibilities that need to be looked at, you know? Yeah, I agree. These arrests are coming soon. Not everyone can be bought by stinky feet. Yeah, I agree, runs with scissors. It's gonna run out. Their luck is gonna run out. It is going to run out. And there's no one left to blame besides the inside job, in my opinion. Hello, Shadow. Good to see you. So, all right, let's listen about Raynell over here in our harrowing escape.
He held her down. She tried to stop him. He held her arms back, and he continued to assault her. She was screaming, and he did not stop.
According to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, it went on for 5 of the 10 days she was with him this month.
She couldn't leave because the windows were boarded up and there were no doorknobs on the door.
Knives.
All right, no doorknobs on the door. Hey, lover girl. Hello. I mean, that is a sign that someone is being held captive. Hello. I'll just we'll watch it again.
Doorknobs on the door.
Knives by his bedside. AG allegedly threatened to hurt her family into keeping her quiet until he got spooked.
The defendant finally let her leave when he saw that she was posted as a missing person on social media.
AG was already out on just a personal bond for allegedly recently pointing a gun at his wife's head and threatening to, quote, blow her head off. He has a history of...
Oh, that's lovely. Again, Ariel Castro vibes. He was abusive to his ex-wife. He hit her so hard in the head that she developed a tumor from scar tissue over it. Red flag, boarded up house, no doorknobs, dusty old fart.
Assaultive convictions and diagnosed mental illness, denying it all in court.
It's not true, Your Honor. Okay, all right.
When the missing teen girl returned home this month, the case was far from over for Detroit Police Major Crimes Unit.
We're going to investigate and follow any and all leads that are going to get us to a point where we can file charges.
In this case, a horror story, but Commander Rebecca McKay says all missing children's stories are vetted thoroughly.
I would warn anybody out there who decides they want to take in one of these young runaways that we're probably going to figure out who you are and what's been happening.
So I want to underscore one point from the story there. Raynell AG, the suspect in this case, he was on a personal bond, out on a personal bond on tether at this home on the west side when this allegedly all happened, when this girl was held captive for 10 days. So he was already in a lot of trouble with the law. Since then, the judge making, I would assume, is the right decision in this case with 11 felonies, remanding him to custody, of course, innocent until proven guilty as this case moves forward.
Yeah, but the bond question and issue has always been something that's come up so often about whether there's appropriate bond for dangerous people out
there. Yeah, and he has a history, I think 3 other assaultive crimes in the past. Now, those were convictions, and it's hard. Sometimes it lays flat on a piece of paper in front of the judge or magistrate, and they don't necessarily know the ins and outs. But in this case, I think it was the right decision, and we're just glad that little girl is safe tonight.
I think there's a lot of moms and dads who agree with you out there that it was the right decision. Jessica Dupnack for us live tonight.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad that she's safe, but also I don't think that she ran away. I mean, I think she was just walking her dog, in my opinion. I hope that he gets time. I mean, he was already in a whole lot of trouble, so I would hope, but they need to make stiffer penalties from the beginning, right? I mean, look, if you're going to hold your wife at, GUN point, right? If you're going to do that, then you would do it to anybody. I mean, you do it to a perfect stranger, right? Because you do it to someone that you're supposed to be you're supposed to love. I did not see it, Lover Girl. I hope they sent it to LE. Lover Girl says, I don't know, or I know it's off topic. That's fine. We're always talking about Sebastian. But I saw a Facebook today. Someone posted they spotted someone who looked like Sebastian in Reno, Nevada, and I just wanted to make sure Seth saw it. Okay, yeah. Can you email me the link to the post and we can pull it up? We talked about yesterday. I'm really hoping that people do the best they can to get that over to law enforcement immediately. Here's the thing, again, time is of the essence, and if it is Sebastian, we need to let them know. Yeah, Chuchi. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I know they didn't say anything about the dog, which worries me, KJ, because usually the dogs will not leave their owners, especially the kids. Yeah, she's been through so much. She's been through more than enough. Poor girl. These predators are everywhere, right, Thomas? Just waiting for an opportunity to strike at a time when they think they won't get caught. Yeah, and I mean, if they're still doing it and they've gotten caught before or they haven't gotten caught, they get more and more gutsy and brazen each time they do, right? I mean, absolutely. Thanks for being here, Thomas. So here's a little bit more of an update, but I don't recall them talking about the dog, KJ.
Thank you.
But we begin tonight with a man facing multiple charges after police say he held a teenage girl captive for days and raped her.
Now, this is the man who police say did it, 37-year-old Ronell Agee. Tonight, he's facing 11 different charges and is being held without bond.
And that 14-year-old was eventually able to escape. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Ty Steele.
And I'm Damon Fernandez. Police say that girl was held inside a home on Lindsay Street on Detroit's west side. That's right in the area of Southfield Freeway and 7 Mile. Let's get out to Khalil Maycock. He's been working this story. What are the updates, Khalil?
Yeah, so I spoke with a man who lives on this street who says he's disgusted to know he's interacted with Ronell for over a year and that he's accused of doing something so horrible. He also says it's crazy to know that someone's child was assaulted inside of this home. This partially boarded up house with trash all over the yard is where people on the street say 37-year-old Ronell Agee lived. He was arrested last week, charged in connection to the kidnapping and sexual assault of a missing 14-year-old girl.
My heart just fell through the floor.
That man, who didn't want to be identified, lives on the same street as Agee. He says when he found out what happened, he was at a loss of words because he'd interacted with that man accused of harming a teen for the last year. Detroit police say the 14-year-old in this case went missing earlier this month. And according to the prosecutor's office, between March 3rd and March 10th, she was assaulted here. The man who wants to remain anonymous says a hard part about this situation is knowing at one point he tried to help someone who was arrested for hurting others.
Well, I helped him with a little because he needed my weed whacker to do a job, but they told me to help him. So I did that. Asked me to use my lawnmower to cut grass.
And that man says police were searching this home about a week ago, which all makes sense. He added this situation is frustrating because Agee was in close proximity to his daughters.
So it's like you had the potential to take advantage of my daughter, my young daughter. If you could do that to somebody else's daughter, you could do it to anyone's daughter.
And Agee is expected to be in court this Thursday as well as early April. I spoke with someone at the prosecutor's office and they tell me that the last hearing is when we'll find out more details about this case, like how that teen was able to escape. Reporting live, Khalil Maycock, Local 4.
All right, Khalil, thank you.
We begin tonight with a disturbing story out of Detroit, where a 37-year-old man has been charged for allegedly kidnapping and sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Shayna Humphreys. Police say the man assaulted the victim over the course of a week at a home on the city's west side. CBS News Detroit's Heath Kalb spoke with neighbors, including the man who called police when he first saw that girl walking in the middle of the street. Heath, what can you tell us tonight?
Yeah, Shayna, prosecutors say Ronell Agee, who has a criminal history, allegedly held a 14-year-old girl from Detroit in a home between March 3rd and March 10th. The man who lives right across the street told me he called police as soon as he realized something was off.
And they was reaching out like, have you seen this person? And I remember seeing her on this block.
Lawrence Dantzler Day told me that he recognized a teenage girl walking near his home on Lindsay Street after neighbors of his alerted him to a missing girl just a few days prior.
And so I called the Detroit police, and I think I seen this little girl on my block. They came and asked me questions, and they got it. And everybody on the block, a lot of people on the block said, yeah, I saw this little girl.
Dantzler Day says the man who lives in the home across the street is Ronell Agee. He faces a number of charges, including first-degree criminal sexual conduct, kidnapping, and harboring a runaway.
It's a very friendly neighborhood, so we all know one another and look out for one another, but I can't believe that the person that I knew that was squatting in that house would do this. So it has to be somebody. I'm telling myself that it has to be somebody else.
Other neighbors on Lindsay Street told us that when police arrived to Ronell's home last week, they were startled to find out what he could allegedly do to a 14-year-old girl.
He's the nicest guy we've ever known. Nothing, to be someone to do something like that, no, that's not his character.
Now, Ronell Agee was arraigned and remanded to jail last Thursday. He is scheduled to appear in court on Wednesday for a probable cause conference. Heath Kalb, CBS News.
Okay, guys, you seen it. And I'm going to be brief in this one because I can't say anything different than what I said before, but I want to say this real fast. Multiple people saw that girl. Guy had neighbors that knew him. He ain't give a damn about that. Did you hear the one lady? She said he was squatting in that house. You know what else was squatting? The house itself. That shit looked like if you walk up to it right now, it will shake in fear. Did you see the inside of it? Disgusting. It would take a cleanup crew probably 2 or 3 days to even get that house getting back to somewhat livable. The house looked like it's falling apart. He got a barbecue grill and all kind of stuff out front, just a bunch of junk. He run around here asking people for help to do things. And just like the guy said, if he could do it to somebody else's daughter, he could have very well did it to mine. He in court, that's not true, Your Honor. That's the thing that like from a male standpoint, y'all, let me say this before I get out of here. I can't fathom being a man and wanting a child, number one. And number two, I can't be in a position where I live in filth like that and I already got a chaotic life because, you know, you're already in trouble for the stuff he did with his wife. But you far, far away mentally and physically from even thinking about tasting a woman.
Oh my gosh. And, you know, I say this a lot too, so I'm glad to hear someone else echo it. You know, he's like, as a grown person, there's no way you're looking at a young person like this, right? Disgusting. Disgusting. Jen, she was missing. She was walking her dog. I still can't find any information on the dog, guys. I know. I don't know if he just let the dog loose and took her. I'm guessing because that's really gutsy to take a pit bull and his child. You know, that's that doggy's little girl, right? I mean, he's going to be loyal to her. And but she escaped. But that's the man that had her hostage in a boarded up house in Detroit. And, you know, a complete pigsty, you know, in the house. No doorknobs, no way to get out, you know, but she escaped, thank God. I don't know. I'm gonna try to find some more updates on this as well, guys, because this is very interesting, in my opinion. Let's listen a little bit more. But I echo his sentiment here.
Or a child, or wanting some type of sexual gratification, because that right there, man, come on, man. Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. Now, this right here go through the court system when it should just be an easy thing. Makes no damn sense to me. I told you these people out here, when they want something, they're going to get it. They don't care how they look, and they always got a plan. See, they said like the parents or the family said they think she ran away when she left with a dog. And in the thing in the beginning, that's why I played it again. Lady said, when you get a runaway, we going to find out what happened when we catch you with him. So I don't know if they met somewhere, but he goes to court tomorrow. And I'll keep abreast of the story because I'm going to see how they met and I'm going to see exactly how she escaped. Because he already felt the pressure because he recognized her as a missing person. And the case of this, you know, was one of the biggest, if not the biggest one that made the media and had a whole bunch of social media publicity. Either way, man, it's crazy. Shouldn't have happened in the first place. See you in the next video. Take care.
Sorry, I was muted. Absolutely, guys, great commentary. I echo the sentiment, right? It's just important to have all perspectives out there, and especially from, you know, a guy, the Dynamic Reason channel, right? Let me just go ahead and drop his link one more time. Well said. And thank you for getting the update out to us so we could review it. Really appreciate that because that was, you know, a time crunch. I didn't realize that she had been found, right? That she had, you know, escaped this terror that she did, this house of horrors. So there we go. Let me find out where my spot is. Okay, there we go. So yeah, he did a good job, right, Holly? I was like, I've never heard of him before, but he did good. Miss Ann says Detroit is very notorious for stuff like this going on. In my niece lives up in Michigan, and she has told me about this. Wow, Miss Ann, that's unbelievable. You know. Okay, let me check my spam, lover girl. Bear with me, because yeah, I got one from Cinderella. Let's see, spamming. Let's see our spam. I do have 5 in the spam. No, I don't. No. Let's see. Let me refresh it really quick again. No, I didn't get it. There is no apostrophe though, lover girl, in my email. It's just Lady Freedom's raw narratives at gmail.com. And you could actually even go to my description and get the link. It is spreading like an infection, Holly. I mean, it's crazy. And I just watched, I believe it was a Louisiana mayor that had a pool party for these kids at her house. And she's doing all of this out in the open, thinking she's above the law, above human decency. I mean, why would you corrupt a child? And who thinks these children are attractive? That's sick. You need help, right? There is not a lot of help for you besides the island, but at least try. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, lover girl. I'll check it. Yeah, they're everywhere. You know, they're everywhere. And it would be so much better if it was isolated, Holly. I wish it was isolated, but it's not. It is definitely not. All right, guys. So we're going to switch gears a little bit as well. Miss Ann says it happens everywhere. Every day up there in Detroit and around in Michigan, all over. Well, and I mean, it's the same old story too here. We're seeing this abusive male to his own family, and then he goes out there and tries to steal up little girls off the streets. Unbelievable. And I don't think she was a runaway. I'm gonna have to do, let me do a little bit and see what I can find while I show you 5D. So we're gonna switch gears to 5D in Sebastian's case because it kind of goes really well with what we were talking about yesterday, right? In terms of what was the interrogation? Was there an interrogation on Shady Katie Proudfoot? Because first day they should have done it. First day. So let me go ahead and grab that up, and I will grab 5D's link as well, because I greatly appreciate them. You know, again, this pressure needs to keep building, and the only way that we can do that as Sebastian's army is to work together. We need to work together to do this. Did I not share it? Oh my gosh, I thought I shared it. See, this is what happens when I'm doing things after my live too late, and then I'm like, oh, I thought I shared it. There's hindsights. Okay, so I want to do hindsights after. Give me a second. Sorry, guys. Here, I think I thought I was prepared today. I just really wanted to highlight these girls and their hard work, what they've done, their courage, their strength. Okay, so let me see. Where is our friend 5D? My bad. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. No, this is Kiki's. Sorry. This is Kiki's, but we all, again, thank you. A special shout out to Kiki also for, you know, going and putting pressure on the ones responsible that can actually do something about what's going on in Sebastian's case. We need a hero. All right, so let's see. Oh, here's 5D. Okay. All right. So the full credit to 5D here, and they're always doing like the comparisons, right? So there's a couple of different clips in here that are really valuable that kind of sum up some of what is being talked about here. So definitely go sub up to 5D, guys. Really appreciate them. And also James Hutchinson, little James Hutchinson, has not been found. He is somewhere out there still. They said they put him into the Ohio River. I don't know if they did, but they haven't found him ever. So please keep that in mind. Let me see if I can't find a flyer to drop while we watch.
As a parent, this story is hard to fathom. It is the story of Brittany Gosney. She's a mom. She's currently serving at least 21 years in prison. Police say she murdered her son. He was hogtied and weighed down with a cinder block. Before we rehash this case, let me show you a picture of the victim. His name, James Robert Hutchinson. He was just 6 years old. And this is a picture of his mom, Brittany Gosney. This story begins when she reported young James missing in February 2021. She reported James missing on a Sunday morning, but said that he had been missing since Saturday night, which police later said was suspicious because why wouldn't you report your child missing to the police Saturday night?
Hello, and there is little James, guys, really quick. I just want to show him really quick again.
She reported James missing on a Sunday morning, but
there he is. Look at little James, guys. Oh, she's such an evil witch. Oh my gosh, Mama. Just breaks my heart, his little face. I mean, he is just a cutie pie. And oh my Lord. And just a little guy. Again, trigger warning for little James because he was begging for his mama not to do this to him, right? The mom's boyfriend, not even a dad, a piece of crap, didn't like James. Didn't like any of the kids. I know, right? Little pumpkin. KJ, I mean, just a little sweetheart. And you know how the boys are with their mamas. You know, they love their moms. It just breaks my heart. You know, Sethy says, reminds me of Sebastian. I know with those glasses, right? Just as cute as he can be, sweet. didn't deserve any of this. His mother's a monster, Miss Brittany Gosney.
Said that he had been missing since Saturday night, which police later said was suspicious because why wouldn't you report your child missing to the police Saturday night? Here's the story that she first gave officers at the station.
Is you have to be 100% honest with me with everything, okay? Because we don't have this, we're missing a 6-year-old little boy, and we're trying to figure out where he's at. I got to make sure he's safe, okay? So, you know, your cooperation goes a long, long way. Okay, but you have to be honest with me with everything, no matter what the circumstances are. Okay, so you can remove your mask if you would. If you don't care, do you care to take off your mask? Okay.
As long as you don't have COVID.
I don't. Do you?
No.
Then we're good. Okay. So what happened? What time did you guys go to bed last night?
Well, the kids go to bed at 9.
About 9 o'clock. Told him to go to bed.
Okay.
And we normally go to bed at 10.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I knew, I told them all it was 9 o'clock, time for bed.
Mm-hmm.
So they all went upstairs to their rooms, and I went upstairs a little bit later to see if they were asleep.
Sure.
And they were all asleep.
All right. Excuse me. All right, guys. Same crap that Katie fed all of us, law enforcement included. But these guys are not buying it. This is a proper interview interrogation. Where is the P-Foots interrogation footage? Where is it? Craddock, you don't know what you don't know because you ain't asking questions. Carter, where you at? Time to shine, rookie. Rise and shine.
So then that's when I came down, waited a couple minutes just to see if they might have come downstairs or something, and then I went to bed.
Okay. What time did you get up this morning?
He woke me up at 8.
6 o'clock, I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he wasn't here.
He woke you up at 8. Did he wake you up any time before that to say that James was missing?
Nothing to remember. He
Okay.
said he tried to wake me up several times, but
But you don't
I'm on
remember?
medicine, so
What kind of medicine do you take?
I take anxiety meds.
Okay, I do too. So, what's it called? What do you take?
Hydroxyzine
Mhm.
3 times a day, and then I take this blue pill. I don't know what the blue pill's called. At
Okay.
nighttime.
This is where I need you to be honest with me. It is what it is, okay? Do you use any other type of narcotics, drugs, illegal drugs, or anything? Do you smoke weed?
Do you take any medication at night that would make you sleep?
No, ma'am.
Do you? Okay, you don't use heroin, you don't use,
No, I've had family members that
Meth,
passed away from that stuff, and
okay. Do you
that
know,
pushes me away. So.
do you know if your, boyfriend does? Does he use any type of dope at all? Not that you know of. Well, you would know more than anybody. That's what I'm asking. You're not going to get him in any trouble. I just need to know if you're being honest with me. That's what I'm trying to feel.
I mean, I've never seen it. I mean, we smoke cigarettes.
I'm not talking about that. I said drugs, illegal drugs. Of course, a lot of people smoke cigarettes. A lot of people smoke weed. A lot of people use
I
heroin.
mean, he smokes weed, but
Okay.
that's the only thing I know of.
Okay, that's all
I
I'm
don't know
asking.
if he does anything else.
Okay, you don't need to protect him. I'm getting a feel for you, if you're gonna be honest. I just need you to be honest with me. Don't overread into any of my questions, okay? I promise you. So he wakes you up at 8 and tells you what? Or do you wake up on your own at 8, or does he wake you up at 8?
Well, he woke me up, and because he went looking around first, he said he had come in there several times before
Mm-hmm.
to try to wake me up. And he said I didn't respond to any time. So he just went outside and looked around, looked through all the rooms, the closets, and all that, and he couldn't find them anywhere. So then the next thing he thought to do was just go around a couple blocks,
Mm-hmm.
see if he might be close by.
Did he walk there, or did he drive there, or what did he do for that part?
He drove around.
Okay.
I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school and he's already
But he came back and woke me up, and he was like, "You know James is calling?" I was like, "What?" And I was like, "No, I thought he was upstairs asleep." And I even woke up the brother and sister, maybe thinking they might have seen him up, about, moving around or something, and they said they didn't hear nothing, they didn't see him.
And guys, we went over this again. She talks about the brother and the sister. Those are her children. James is her son, and the other brother and sister are her kids. But she distances herself completely. The brother and sister to James, right? Not my son, not my children. I mean, cold, calculated, choose your man over your kids all day. Hardcore Katie Proudfoot vibes. Lover Girl says, I would love to watch the interrogation videos, if they even exist, that Sumner County Sheriff's Office did with Chris and Katie. Yeah, because typically you don't, when you're questioning a parent, even in a missing child's case, you don't have a group of people. You're a one-on-one discussion, interview, questioning of the mother. One-on-one questioning of the father, one-on-one questioning of everyone involved, the people that are the closest. You start on the inside and work your way out. I mean, that's how it's done, typically. Not so much, in my opinion, because we haven't seen any movement or any type of resolution, or even the start of getting to a resolution in Sebastian's case, because they're not doing their job, in my opinion. And they didn't. They missed an opportunity.
So the baby's name is James Hutchinson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's his date of birth?
6/30/14. He's a baby, so
Right.
I'm kind of worried about him.
Well, sure. Yeah, I'll be more than times that, huh? So tell me what kind of kid he is.
He has ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that he is high, what they would consider high functioning.
He struggles real bad in school.
Right. So we have both moms, when they say, tell me about your kid, start telling you everything, their diagnosis, what's wrong with them, right? Not saying, he's a great kid, he's happy, he likes to do A, B, and C. No. Oh, tell me about your son. He's got ADHD. Hey, Katie, tell us about Sebastian. He's high functioning. And Katie used to call him functional, like he was a damn sofa. I'm not kidding either. Please clip it, by all means. I need it. Because he's highly functional, is what she told people in the beginning. It's not what we're asking you, Katie. We're asking you to describe your son who you love. That's what we're looking for in the first take, Katie. Brittany, they got ADHD. Really? You're not concerned with HIPAA when you're talking like that?
Struggles to pay attention.
He does struggle sometimes with expressing himself.
He's, otherwise than that, like in school and stuff, they said he's good in school.
He's a good kid overall.
He's, for the most part, Katie's favorite phrases, for the most part, to be honest. Right. He struggles. I guess he's a good kid for the most part. Right. Let's paint a negative picture for everyone of my son who's missing. I don't think so, ladies. Try again.
Tries to focus.
He's physically healthy, no
Yes.
health issues.
No.
Oh, great. Good. Good boy at home?
Yeah.
Pretty good boy. How do you guys discipline him when he does?
Stand him in a corner.
How did you discipline him since he, how did you discipline?
Sebastian in general?
Yeah.
Well, that depends. The punishment has to fit the crime.
Again, I spank my kids. My kids are grown now, but I did spank my kids. It's nothing wrong with that. Do you spank them? Do you just ground them? Do you take stuff from them?
Well, my son with the red hair, like video games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the baby doesn't really know how to work controllers and stuff. He tried, but we just make him stand in a corner just for like a little bit to make him know that you ain't supposed to do that.
Is James in school yet?
Yes, he's in first grade.
He's in first grade. Where did he go to school?
Rosa Parks.
Rosa Parks. Okay. When's the last time he was in school?
Well, it's
Beautiful little James, little first grader. Poor little guy. It's so sad. So sad. So again, we're talking about two mothers that are minimizing punishments when asked, right? Because that's a valid question, and I think it should be asked right off the bat, right? If you're not going to say how do you punish, the kids, what's your parenting style, right? And in this interrogation, when they're talking later, not this officer, but a different one, is talking to, he's also named James, her boyfriend. He says things like, I hate it when those little shits get out of hand and things like that. He really lays it on thick and is minimizing it in order to get the response that he ultimately gets out of James. This is the value of doing the interviews. Where were you at, Deputy Snuggle Struggle? Where were you at, Rookie Detective? Were you even in the picture? Because if you weren't, that should have been the first step that you took when you took the case over. But I guess you wouldn't know that because you're not experienced or qualified to be taking on a case of Sebastian's magnitude, in my opinion.
Every Monday and Tuesday, so he was in school last Tuesday.
Okay. So he goes 2 days a week, Mondays and Tuesdays down there. Okay. But you're saying other than that, he's a pretty good kid. As far as like behaviorally, he's a 6-year-old, so I know 6-year-olds.
He has his little fits here and there, tantrums. I just overlook it.
Did Sebastian have tantrums at all?
Really quick, too. KJ says, I noticed Foot sounded excited to talk about the discipline topic. I agree. And he also goes, Sebastian? No, Smiley's asking you how you discipline Katie. Right? Or maybe he was thinking Faith. But either way, he sounded very excited. I agree. And hey, Bonnie's Journeys, we're just going over 5D's video about Brittany Gosney. And I think you were here when we watched her interrogation before. But yeah, we're revisiting it because 5D took that interview and then brought in some of Chris and Katie's interviews and kind of intermingled them a bit, which I love that. Lisa King says, yes, the punishment does have to fit the crime. You need to remember that, CP, in my opinion. Amen, Lisa. Yeah, he'd like to remember that when it applies to him. I agree, 100%. Lovergirl says, why does he sound so gleeful talking about disciplining Sebastian? Most parents don't enjoy having to discipline their kids. Exactly. It's like, and sometimes you're even going like, why? Right? Like, I didn't want to have to be the heavy, right? I don't want to have to be the bad guy. I don't want you to have to be in trouble. I don't want to have to punish you, right? I don't want to have to discipline you. But in the same way, that discipline and showing kids that there are consequences to their actions is necessary. But we never enjoy doing it, right? It's not the friggin' highlight of our day ever, Lovergirl. Thank you. See, Bonnie, and that's what we're examining. And we've been examining that too, because we watched another interrogation pertaining to another case of an older lady, and her name is Gail Spencer. And it was a group effort. So there were a lot of elements that I wanted to show people. But the topic for a while has been, were Chris and Katie ever truly interrogated or interviewed, right? Because it starts out as an interview. You might start seeing an interrogation, then the Miranda rights, if necessary, are read, and the person is under arrest. And typically they'll keep talking, or if they're smart, they'll get a lawyer. So did Katie get a lawyer? Right? Did she lawyer up right away? And is that why she would only go on these seedy, not very popular or big YouTube channels to, quote, tell her story? Right? It just makes me wonder. With Chippa. I mean, who else would they be interviewing about other than Sebastian? Foot is so obvious. Exactly. And he's like, Sebastian? Oh, you want me to talk about punishing? I mean, yeah. He loves the control, though, KJ. That's his deal. That's his biggest downfall. He just can't even help himself. He's so obvious. You're so right. No, he shouldn't have been. Look, all kids need to be, especially like, say they're little and they're climbing up on top of something, and they're gonna hurt themselves. You gotta, to me, that's not even really discipline. That's helping them out so they don't fall and bust their ass, right? I mean, that's what you're trying to avoid in that situation. Really, they would hurt themselves, right? And as an adult, it's up to you, if you're in the vicinity, to go grab that kid off the, wherever they're climbing or whatever. Or there's certain instances where if you're the step parent, you will have to be a disciplinarian. But I mean, for the most part, I think it's a better practice, especially when you're dealing with a 7-8-year-old. That's when Sebastian started being around Chris in that capacity. Because at that point, they already know who their parents are. He already has 2 involved parents. So as a step parent in that role, you would think that you would assume that role and say, okay, I'm not the child's mother. I'm here to make sure, or father, I'm here to make sure that they don't hurt themselves, that they stay safe. But I also know that I need to bring this to the attention of my spouse, who is actually their biological parent. And, in the beginning, Chris was saying that he talks to Seth almost always daily, well, then why wasn't he communicating what was really going on to Seth? Why was no one communicating that to Seth? And it's very frustrating, right? Because that's who I would always point to. I'd be like, well, my biggest line of defense would probably be like, I'm going to tell your mom, I'm going to tell your dad, use a little bit as leverage, be smarter than a 5th grader. But, Crispy's incapable. He thinks he's so smart, he doesn't listen to reason, Yeah, see, Bonnie, that's where I'm at with this position, because now if there's no father involved or no mother involved, then I can't fault the family for doing what they, then they kind of assume that role. But it's up to the biological parent, in my opinion, to keep the child safe. And if the step parent's going way too far or enjoying discipline a little bit too much, maybe he shouldn't have that power, in my opinion. I couldn't handle it. I'd be like, no, my child comes first. Bonnie says, I had a stepdad and my mother and father dealt with my discipline, not my stepdad. Yeah, it's almost like you don't feel like that's your role. I mean, I wouldn't personally. Provided a correction is perfectly acceptable. Yeah, thank you. There you go. KJ, like a correction, right? Saying no. Like, say the kid's like, using foul language and you're out in the grocery store with him by yourself. I mean, you are not going to be able to have your spouse there, to take care of it. So you say, hey, I need you to, quit using that language, right? That's not appropriate. But again, I'd be like, wait till your mom hears. Wait till your mom hears about this, right? You want me to tell her? Because I'm gonna, you kind of become, the tattletale. But in the same way, it's better than that. You don't just haul off and smack a kid. Oh, that's a dirty mouth, it just doesn't work that way anymore, because it's proven that it's not effective. They don't learn from it. Saying no and redirecting, but providing punishment, yeah, is very questionable. It's problematic, KJ. It is. It's absolutely not acceptable. I agree. I would never let another man besides my child's father discipline, yeah, my children. Well, and it's like, you are in a position as a step, parent or as the biological parent in the situation to say, you have to respect your step mom or dad, right? You can't let the kids be just like, you're not my mom, F you, I can do what I want, you're not my parent, stuff like that. If that's happening, that's unacceptable as well. There has to be some respect. But in the same way, yeah, the discipline, in my opinion, it's just not their responsibility or their role, in my opinion. Especially if you can see that they're getting off on that, For someone communicating daily, surely forgot to mention those 5 CPS reports. Right. Big red flags. Big red flags. I agree, KJ. That's spot on. Never mentions that, Never mentions that. And, I'd love to get those clips too together. Now that I'm thinking about it, all the times that, they tried to push off the relationship as if they were co-parenting when it was anything but. It was more like them hiding shit and then making Sebastian hold the burden of him knowing that shit wasn't right and then having to act like things were all right at dad's, when he's at mom's, he's having to act like it's okay. And then, but then also kind of it spills out a little bit. Like, I really don't think Mr. Chris and mom like me very much. Or, dad, I really don't want to have to go back there, And it kind of spills over a little bit. Sometimes you have to wonder why the kids, because kids will do that. They'll be like, I don't want to live here. I want to live there. Okay, I don't want to live there. I want to live here. They like to try to play that game. But I think it was so much more than that. With the 5 CPS reports, again, Brenda, Seth is there, and that Sebastian could be in Michigan, where the place my niece told me about. Are you talking about a school, Miss Ann? Oh, yeah, agreed. There has to be respect, but corporal punishment shouldn't be allowed. Well, and, we were talking, with our friend while it was at the Gathering of Voices, and it is illegal in Tennessee to use corporal punishment on a kid with autism because of their different abilities, right? And I think Sebastian would fall even more into that category because he's got the pocket of fluid on his brain. It's not a good idea to go hitting him at all. Right? Because if he falls over or if he loses his balance and he knocks himself in the head, it can be fatal or something bad can happen. So again, to do that is illegal. And I don't know why they have never been charged or questioned in the matter. I mean, why haven't they brought them to the police station and said, what of all of these reports? But again, if they lawyered up, that shuts everything down. And then, so I don't know. It just depends.
Oh. And this is
Right.
Because that's the only thing you can do. Because the other ones have the same thing, or they like to throw themselves down to the floor.
Right.
I just overlook it.
Did Sebastian have tantrums at all? And this is
Right.
Because that's the only thing you can do. Because the other ones have the same thing, or they like to throw themselves down to the floor,
Right.
stomping or something like that. But other than that, he's a pretty good kid.
So Brittany gives police this story that young James just went missing after he went to sleep. Police then interviewed her boyfriend, James Hamilton. Here's his mugshot. We'll explain what he did in a moment, but here's his initial police interview after he reported Brittany's son missing, and he gives a similar story as Brittany did, that James randomly vanished in the middle of the night.
And I went through the rooms, noticed the boy, James, was gone. I went down, I got looking in the front door, it was locked. I looked at the back side door, it's on lock.
A 15-year-old boy that has vanished without a trace.
James and Brittany told police were total lies. The stories of this couple being parents who looked out for the kids and wanted to make sure that they were safe and were just stunned to find young James missing, all of that was not true. And the
Right. All of that was not true. And again, you see this comparison. What did James say, right, as the stepfather? What did Chris say as the stepfather? Guys, it's textbook. There's a reason why there are patterns to recognize. Where is the P-Foot's interrogation footage? Were they ever interrogated for any of the crimes that were committed here? Hello?
Police seem to know that as well. Later that day, as you see the timestamp on this video, Brittany was still at the police station. This time it was 7:12 in the evening, and police had talked to Brittany's two other children. They were 7 and 9 years old. And here's when police confront her about her story and what really happened to her son.
Okay, so I want to get into more. So what's going to happen at this point is the two children are going to be interviewed, go through a forensic interview. Do you understand what that is? Okay, so kids don't lie.
What did he lie about?
Kids are pretty, what I mean by don't lie is when you get them, when you start talking to them about stuff, they're going to tell me, because they were both standing there according to you, they're going to tell me exactly what happened. They're going to be able to do a forensic interview. And what that is it's people that are trained in do nothing but interview children for either sexual crimes or.
And I'm sorry, but they should have brought, like, you know, Carter in and let him have a notebook and start taking notes. That's what a rookie needs to be doing. He shouldn't be the lead detective on Sebastian's case. And Craddock, this is where you should be sitting. Right here. Katie, that's your spot. Chris, there's another room open for you, sir. Where is Sebastian?
Any type of crime that they were witnessed or been involved in. So they're going to be able to tell me exactly what happened. Just like I told you before, you're coming around, you've been honest with me about a lot of things. I still think there's a little bit being left out of what actually happened up in Preble County. You initially told me that your boyfriend, all 5 of you went up there. Do you remember telling me that? Okay. Did all 5 of you go up there?
No, it was just me and 3 kids.
You and the 3 kids, okay. So at no time he wasn't up there for that. But you had called him, is what you told me, and told him what had happened.
No, I had texted him. He had called me.
Okay, you texted him. And what is your text going to say when I see that?
I dropped the kids off.
And what about the boy being dead?
I said he might be dead.
Or 2, Sebastian will be found dead in the woods. Sure.
Right. I think it's probably going to give me a little bit more than that, but that's best you can remember. Okay. I think something more happened up there than him falling down. He didn't just fall down.
And you and your husband had nothing to do with his disappearance?
No, we did not.
The third interview.
Oh, she asked that really, 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 really quickly, right? Before it could even come out of Holly's mouth.
No, with his.
Look at her. No. Look at her. I don't even have to pause it again. God, you're cold, Katie. You're creepy and cold. Let's just go all the way back to what Chris said.
That he might be dead.
Or 2, Sebastian will be found dead in the woods. Sure.
Right. I think it's probably going to give me a little bit more than that, but that's best you can remember. Okay. I think something more happened up there than him falling.
Hey, Sheriff Craddock, please don't insult my intelligence by telling me that Hatfield and McCoy couple didn't send you that conversation, that you've never heard Chris Proudfoot say that about Sebastian. Carter, where you at? This is your chance. Batter up, rookie. Batter up. Let's go.
Down. He didn't just fall down.
And you and your husband had nothing to do with his disappearance?
No, we did not.
It's the third interview of a mother who killed her son during an attempt to abandon him. Brittany Gosney's previous relationships had ended in failure. So when she met James Hamilton, she was determined that this time things were going to work out. Gosney was already the mother to 4 children. one of whom had been taken from her by social services. From the beginning, Hamilton did not get along with the children, frustrated by the natural noise and mess that comes with children of that age. He would frequently hog-tie them and strike them and leave them like that for extended periods of time. In February 2021, Hamilton gave Gosney an ultimatum. It was him or the kids. Hamilton suggested leaving them at Rush Run Park, a location where they had dropped off the children in the past to frighten them into behaving. Gosney took all 3 children and started to drive away while they were in the bathroom.
I guess that's her idea, a timeout. Putting him at a park and frightening him. Little James. God, they're sick.
6-year-old James ran after the van, holding on to the door as Gosney tried to leave. Eventually, he fell off, and she continued on her way without checking on him. After driving some distance, she texted Hamilton, who told her to bring them back. When she returned, she said that James was already dead in the parking lot.
Right. So Brenda, James, the stepdad, said, "Get all your kids and get out of here." She said, "Well, I don't want to be homeless." And he said, "Then you get rid of the kids because I can't take them no more." He's hurting the kids. He's abusing them corporally, punishing them. And so she takes all of them there to leave them there. And she says that little James was holding on. Excuse me. Little James was holding on, saying, "No, Mama, don't leave me here." Scared, maybe cold because it's Ohio. "Please don't leave us here," terrified. And he ended up getting hurt. The other kids were brought back to the home. Cold as ice, Lisa, willing to sacrifice these kids, willing to lie her ass off to the authorities, willing to report him missing when she knows damn well he wasn't missing. "Oh, I put him to bed about 9 o'clock. Oh, who'd we hear that from? Katie. Where is Sebastian, Katie? Brittany, where is James? Because he's not been found either." We're about to find out what they said they did to James. I don't know if it's true. The Ohio River is a big, big river.
Gosney took his body home, where she and Hamilton hid it until the next day when they drove to the river to dispose of it. On Sunday, they reported James missing, but police became suspicious of the large discrepancies in their stories.
You've sat back there in that jail and you've tried to come up with some excuse for the, hold on, let me move over here. I'm too close to you.
And why, Detective Carter? Why, Eric Craddock, Sheriff Snuggle Struggle? Have you never been suspicious about the inconsistencies in Katie and Chris's stories? Why have you not been curious why it doesn't add up? I don't want to hear your bullshit excuses.
Because you sat back there and that, just listen, okay? You sat back there in that jail and you've tried to come up with some reason to justify you not getting charged with murder. Here's where we are, okay? There's no doubt in my mind you took those kids out there to leave them for them to either freeze to death, for them to fall in the water and drown, or for coyotes or some other wild animal to eat those children. There is no look in my eyes, there is no doubt in my mind that you took those children to Rush Run Lake to die. There is no doubt in my mind you took all 3 of your kids there to die. Now, maybe you weren't going to do anything to them. Maybe you didn't have plans to take them out there and shoot them, stab them, cut them, drown them.
Gosney is prevaricating. By abandoning them, she can allow herself to avoid accepting the responsibility for anything that might have happened to them. This is evident by the fact that she shows no negative reaction to the possibility of their deaths.
Maybe you didn't have any plans at all to do that. I have no reason to think for sure that you did.
Yeah, I didn't have no reason to do anything.
But you had every intention of taking those children out there to die.
Well, I didn't know they were going to die, but I took them out there.
You took them out there hoping no one would ever see them, find them, or you would never see them or hear from them again. Is that a safe assumption?
Yes.
So when you went out there with your 3 kids, they were well enough to walk on their own, all 3 of them. They were all 3 well enough to talk on their own. They all knew where they were, and they were scared to death. Am I correct?
Yes.
James had I'm asking you, had James instructed you to take them out there and leave them?
You're talking about Big James?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not going to call him Jaws because that's stupid. I'm going to call him Big James.
Okay.
Big James.
I prefer you do it that way, so I'm not getting
there. And that's good because I've gotten confused actually going through my notes. Big James and you decided that they were interrupting your all's relationship. And
he said they wasn't listening, so I need to get rid of them because I wasn't disciplining them.
Okay. They were causing a problem between you and Big James.
Yes.
Sound familiar when Smiley asked, and again, I brought this up last night, when Smiley asked, is Sebastian a burden on your marriage? Chris sits back, Katie says nothing, and he repeats the question back to her. Was Sebastian a burden on our marriage? Pauses. No. And then you hear Katie, no. Disgusting. Choosing a man over your children, getting rid of your child for a man is the top motive. And here's why. It's textbook.
I'm going to say the decision was made. I'm not going to point fingers. The decision was made that they need to exit your all's life relationship.
Yes, and that was him.
Okay. You then load them up in Big James's van.
Yes.
You and the children.
Yes.
Go out to restaurant.
Where he had told me to take them.
And you told me that, and I believe that. I really do, because I found that, even though you deleted your browser stuff, I found that in your phone. I've already got search warrants, and I've started going through your phones. I found that.
Wow. So again, another detective that actually investigated and says, hey, it's okay. I'm asking you questions that I already know the answer to, ma'am. Thanks for being honest. So, I already knew that, right? You're just, corroborating the story. He's not mean with her. He's not in her face, right? But at a certain point, you get sick of being lied to. It's like pulling teeth with these people and their deceptive nature. They'll lie about something just to lie half the time. Lovergirl says, I heard the boyfriend in this case gave the mother an ultimatum, just like we've heard Chris gave Katie. And we talked very extensively about that because it was said by multiple people said Chris and Katie's relationship was on the rocks. Katie was wanting to leave Chris. Chris was wanting to leave Katie. Chris wanted Katie to leave, right? All these variations of the same thing. And also that Chris didn't like Sebastian. that Chris was saying to Katie, it's either him or me. Giving that ultimatum. It happens all the time. But yet it never occurred to Sumner County Sheriff's Office to figure out what Katie did with Sebastian. Not good enough. Not good enough. And the pressure needs to be on, and it needs to be on the appropriate pressure and pain points of this case. And this is one of them.
And I can even, if you don't believe me, I'll go get it and name off half a dozen places you looked up directions for. But
Yeah, because I've told you that I've always used my GPS, but I know nothing.
right. Because you don't know. You looked up Walmart.
Yeah,
You
I
looked
know
up,
nothing.
right. And I'm with you. But I'm saying, what time of night, once again, did you take those kids out there?
Well, he told you.
Just tell me. Just tell me, what time of night do you think you took those kids out at the park? Just guess.
I believe it was Friday morning.
Friday, okay, but what time?
Like 2 something?
So it was late at night. You knew there would be no one there.
Yeah.
And you knew they would be all
He
alone.
told me there was going to be nobody around.
Okay.
But I had asked him, what if somebody sees him?
Mm-hmm.
And he told me there was nobody out at that time.
So when the kids exited the vehicle, and you pulled out of the parking lot, when you left your house in Middletown and you were driving, you had intentions that was going to be the last car ride you ever took with your children.
Yes, because I was dropping them off there.
Okay. You knew that when you left your house there on Crawford Street. So you drive out there, you drop them off, and I'll say this, somehow James gets killed. Little James gets killed. You pull out, and again, when you pull out of the lot, you don't have any intentions of ever seeing those kids again.
No, and I didn't have any intentions on doing anything to them.
There were relatives that would have been willing to take the children, and Gosney could have given them up for adoption. She made no effort to attempt to take these avenues to remove the children from her custody in a safe manner.
Okay, that's fair. You leave the lot, and how long were...
And guys, not to take away from James's situation, but again, who does this sound like? Katie. Katie had every opportunity to do the right thing, and she did the wrong thing, in my opinion. She could have waited until the proper arrangements that were in place when it was right for him at the end of his school year. She obviously couldn't and didn't wait. With all of this compiling evidence, concrete evidence that there were major issues in the home, and all of a sudden this child just poof disappears. KJ Max says now that Sebastian isn't home, Kate and Foot are now on the same page. That's convenient. Yeah, all of a sudden all of the issues are taken care of, right? I mean, the proof is in the pudding. In my opinion, all the statements I make are from my perspective. But, I mean, KJ, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Because that's just logical. It's just logical. A cold-hearted biatch, Katie, is the FBI involved? There will be someone who can't be bought. Any updates on Sebastian? No, none. Runs with scissors. And the FBI is willing to put out a $500,000 reward. At Night's got a reward. Yet no information. It screams of an inside deal. A roll your own. Where are you guys at? You guys are doing nothing besides sitting with your hand out asking for a raise, Craddock.
You wrong. Back.
The text message that I had sent him.
The last one that I saw was On OMW.
On my way back.
Okay.
That's basically what that means.
Yeah, on my way back now.
Yeah.
Where were you at when you was sent that?
I was a little ways down the road.
You went up the driveway from the park.
Yes, and turned left.
Turn left.
Because I had followed my GPS to
Sure,
get back
sure,
home.
sure.
And I had stopped quarter ways down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I had turned back around because he told me the kids are just going to be running around. They're going to get hurt.
Okay, well, I'm going to stop you. The first time, and several times, and even in the polygraph, you said that you texted James, told him you were dead, that he was through. You texted Big James and said he's dead.
He might have been dead.
He might have been dead. So where were you at whenever you texted dead?
On my way home.
Because you texted on my way, be right on my way home. You texted that, right?
Yes, I had text that.
And so then you were thinking James was dead, but you were little James, but you were going to go on home.
I was thinking it because of the kids were screaming. I didn't know for sure.
Gosney gets tangled in her story, unable to get the sequence of events straight to fit her claims.
But then after you told Big James you were on your way home, then you texted him and said, little James is dead.
Yes, that's when I had went back to get them and told him I was on my way home with them. Because he told me not to leave.
Well, but in
James
the polygraph, you said the only reason you went back was because Big James told you to.
Yeah, because he said they'd be running around.
Okay. You see, this is where we are. Do you not hear yourself when you're talking? Or is just you're so full of shit you can't remember what lie you told?
Yeah, I actually would like to put that on a coffee mug and send it to Katie, or a t-shirt, because I mean she's full of it and always lying, and has continued to lie every chance she gets to whoever who will listen to her. Lies, right? And think about what Katie and Chris have said about Sebastian. He might be, I don't know, might be on the dark web, might check there, might be in a basement somewhere. Chris says that he might come back with horrible issues, or he might be dead in the woods. What the hell? And guys, this is after Brittany Gosney was given a polygraph exam. I showed the whole polygraph exam and we went over it. So again, there was a lot of speculation in Sebastian's case about the polygraph. Did Katie pass it? What was the outcome? Did she even take one?
Would this be easier if I got a pen and paper and let you write down what you're telling me so you can remember the lies you're telling? You see, you're still only worried about one person, I guess that's two, one person on the planet. And you know who that is? That's you. You're going to sit there and you're going to lie. You're going to continue to lie. And you're going to continue to lie because the only thing in the world that you're worried about, you're not worried about 9-year-old that is so freaking skinny that is got severely malnourished. You don't give a shit about her. You don't give a shit about who is just a little itty bitty thing himself. And you don't even give a shit about little dead James. The only thing you're worried about in the world is trying to come up with a good story that's going to keep your lying ass out of prison. That's all you're worried about. When you first sat down at a table with Hoover, he told you, the only thing you've got in this world is the truth. Do you remember him telling you that? And all this other shit, all this story, oh, it's James's fault. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Oh, it's this. I didn't mean that. honey, I've caught you in like 5 lies in about 2 minutes because you cannot remember what bullshit story or sentence you said 30 seconds ago. Am I wrong?
No, I have a memory problem. I've been trying to tell you guys
you're
that.
full of shit. We've already talked to
Can
your
I have
doctor.
a paper so I can maybe...
You want to write down your lies? You want to write down a good journal? You're full of shit. You killed your kid, and you
No, I
don't give a
didn't.
rat's ass.
Yes, I do.
Gosney insists that she cares what happened to her child, but her protest is unconvincing.
Okay, guys, so we saw that. I also want to go back to hindsight, and I know I shared this as well, so just give me 1 second here to go to my post and grab it out. All right. Oh, here we go. And now this is again go ahead and share that out really quick and grab it to the stage. All right, here we go. And this is hindsight 2002, right? Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Here we go.
I understand that the video of the 2 flashlights, and I'm saying that with air quotes, that's not exactly what that was at all. We now...
All right, and I want to show you guys what Duper's Delight looks like really quick. Again.
Exactly what that was at all.
Right? Duper's Delight.
That's not exactly what that was at all. We now don't believe that 2 flashlights were observed around your home. Is that correct?
Yes. You're very correct.
Okay.
Absolutely, 2 flashlights. It was not, and I'll repeat, it was not. Do I need to do it again? It was not the trash truck that had the camera talk to me personally and said, I'm telling you right now, there was a car there. It pulled, it backed up, back onto Kellen, and then drove down Kellen to leave. She has it on camera.
I wish I knew where he was, to be honest.
Your theory.
I think it's possible that someone has my son.
Why?
Because I feel like if he had been close to the house or had walked off, that we would found him by now with as many people as we had searching.
Absolutely, 2 flashlights. It was not, and I'll repeat, it was not. Do I need to do it again? It was not the trash truck.
All right, again, guys, from the neighbor, I know that Bobby has been credited, discredited. I mean, I don't know what to believe, to be just completely transparent. I don't know what to believe. I think that Bobby is an OG neighbor in the neighborhood. I think she is nosy. I think she's up in everybody's business, and I think she knows a lot of shit that goes down. All right? She runs a Facebook page, and she has been heavily involved, even with her children searching in the very beginning, in Sebastian's case. She's attended vigils, right? She's done all of these things, and she has been very vocal among the neighbors. Many of the neighbors haven't really come out and spoken publicly. A lot of them are on Facebook posts. Not a lot of the neighbors, or any of them that I know of, were actually at the gathering of voices for Sebastian. If a child went missing in my neighborhood, I would absolutely want to be there. Bobby also complained that she didn't want to see awareness for Sebastian. So I have mixed feelings about Bobby's intentions in some of this, but I don't think that she's the liar. And I don't think that she's lying about this particularly. Do I think that she wants to insert herself for some public notoriety and, to feel like she's involved? Yes. Do I think that she wants to take power over her own neighborhood? Absolutely. Otherwise, I don't think that she is full of malice about the awareness. I think that she, is sick and tired of all of the hoopla around the neighborhood. But I think that, again, her focus shouldn't be on that. It should be on, let's find this missing kid from my neighborhood, right? Let's find Sebastian. So again, when Katie is talking about how she believes that someone has her son, who exactly could have her son? And these are the theories that we're going to be working through moving forward. And I would invite anyone who cares about this case to start working together on this, because we need to apply pressure. Every single person that was brave enough to stand up from the community, every single person that was brave enough to venture out of their little bubble from YouTube and travel to Tennessee for the Gathering of Voices, all did not do that for nothing. Right? So it's time for everyone else to help us apply pressure, because it's going to take more than 50 of us, fine citizens of the planet of Sumner County, to apply the pressure that is needed to find Sebastian Rogers. It's a group effort. No one's going to get a medal, but we might be able to help find Sebastian or apply the pressure needed for them to start looking for him, because this is not a game of catch. I see the rookie standing behind the plate waiting for it to catch a ball. No, that's not how it works. You need to actually be out there, boots on the ground, strategizing. Where is Sebastian? Is he in a basement? Is he out in the woods? Because that's what his parents are telling us who last saw him, who were last responsible for him. So, again, a special shout out to Hindsight, BMW Coupe, their group of people. I don't know who all is involved in that group. I'm usually on the replay, but thank you. It's going to take all of us to apply the pressure that is needed. It is going to take all of us to remember these clips and go back and say, oh, this is what they said. This is the only evidence we have to work off of. Their words. Evaluate. Let's think about if these words can be trusted or if they're truthful. Because even if there's a little smidgen of hope that they're being honest in that moment, then it's worth looking into. It's well worth looking into. No stone left unturned. That means that you keep looking until you find what you're looking for. You're not waiting to catch it. You're not sitting there waiting, right? So let's work together. Let's apply this pressure. Look, they're coming out of the woodwork. Oh, we need a whole YouTube channel to explain Sumner County's growing pains. For what? What are you scared of? A YouTuber with 3,000 people and 25 people in the chat? Because if you're scared of that and you're scared of us having conversations, then that tells me all I need to know. Tells me everything I need to know. And that we are absolutely on the right track. So please continue to apply pressure. 5D, again, thank you. Huge shout out to 5D. Where is the interrogation footage? What happened in this investigation that you are no further along 2 years later? Where is Sebastian? What happened to him? Do your job. It's not our responsibility, but as citizens, we need to come together. Because if they're doing nothing, then that means the case runs cold. And I remember a lot of people saying they weren't going to let this case run cold. Where are you guys today? Because I need you to stand up. I need you to pay attention, especially if you're local. If you're local and you don't have Sheriff Snuggles Struggles comment on your phone to show other people, you're not doing your job either as a citizen of that area. You're allowing for this corruption. You're allowing for Snuggles Struggles to sit up there, oh, I'm a pretty boy. I don't know if I'm Forrest Gump or if I'm fucking Pee Wee Herman. I'm a good old boy. I'm a Boy Scout. Nah, fuck that. No. Unacceptable. Saying there was a photo fumble? That sounds like Snuggle Struggle language to me. I don't speak your freaky deaky little language. You know what I call it? A violation of trust. You know what I call it? Poor police work. You know what I call it? Flat out lazy ass corruption. Get off your collective asses and do something. And it's time for the public to apply it. The pressure necessary. All you got to do is talk about it, people, and it bothers them terribly. They can't handle it. They can't handle the truth. Brenda says, I think the DA needs to be interviewed about this case. What does he need to bring charges? Brenda, they told us at the Gathering of Voices, basically they're looking for one clue. So what I can bring to the table and what my brain goes to first thing, maybe it's something else and I've got it wrong, but the first, snap judgment that I have of that comment is that they're looking for Sebastian. But really what they're doing is waiting for someone else to find him because they're not looking. You can't find him if you're not doing anything. If you're not physically searching, you're not helping. Where are the men? We need you guys out there. If you like to be in the outdoors waiting or whatever, get your waders on and help. Don't leave it for 2 or 3 people to go out there and do it. Yeah, Chuchi, passing out the flyers, right? The Sebastian's FBI flyer is a big one because as we know, like earlier, because that little girl, Deja Frasier, she was found because of awareness, right? And also because she was able to get away. But that's the first thing. Another thing is talking about it. I mean, that's the biggest thing is talking about it. Sharing information out. You guys all have a YouTube page. Every single one of you has a YouTube page. When you see something like Hindsight here, share. When you see 5D, share it. When you see corruption, share it. When you see Lady Freedom, please, it's appreciated. It's free to help. Share it. Share it, guys. If you need information from me that you don't have or something, or you can't find it, I might have it. We need to start working together. Not one single one of us is working for the FBI, and anybody that thinks they're so big for their britches, they need to be knocked down a notch. It's not my responsibility to do it. Look in the damn mirror. You're a YouTuber. Get your shit together. Get off your high horse and actually start working as a team. That's the only way. Right? I mean, come on. Quit thinking so highly of yourself and get off your tush. Jilly, good to see you. Aw, thank you for being here, Jilly. That's what I'm talking about. People that are willing to actually do it. Not just say you're going to do it, not just get mad. It takes more energy to sit there and, oh, I'm so mad. Okay, well, use that. Right? Talk about it. Make a post on your own channel page. Sebastian Rogers is still missing. What is happening? Where's the interrogation? Where's the transparency? Where's the investigation? It has to be a group effort. I mean, because look, these internet trolls are heavy and hot and heavy out there. They're just over there, spreading hate everywhere. Oh, it was probably her fault. Oh, I bet you it was an accident. Oh, Sebastian's probably doing this and da 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 da. He's on a ranch somewhere and it's just rainbows and butterflies. Stop with that. Let's get back to reality. Get back to reality. The reality of the situation is children don't poof vanish. We have extenuating circumstances in Sebastian Rogers' case. The CPS. Post it on your channel. Where's Sebastian? 5 CPS reports. 1 still open. His father wasn't aware. It takes all of us. And that's something easy that you don't have to go out and search. But we need local people to go out and search. It's a must. It is a must. I think that's a good idea, Brenda. I think we need to start sending them to the schools too. The flyers need to go to all of these weird ass schools. I don't know if they're going to do anything about it because they don't care about kids either. Otherwise, they wouldn't be hurting them. But I mean, awareness. Brenda says, lady, I have an idea for the flyers. How about we send them to the forest services and state parks in Tennessee? And I think they probably also have, like we were doing with Devlin's flyer, sending it out to the hunters, right? So all the hunters are aware that they'll be looking in the woods, right, for all black clothing. Again, when we were searching, we were talking about it. Well, we were told that's what Sebastian was wearing. That's the best that we know, right? If you guys see square frame glasses out there, if you happen to stumble on a yellow keychain flashlight, those are the things that are also very important details that are not on the TBI flyer. They're just not. They're not on the FBI flyer. They can't even get the date right, whether Sebastian went missing on the 25th or the 26th. I mean, come on. He was reported missing at 6:30 a.m. about on February 26th, 2024. He was last seen at the Texas Roadhouse. Those are the facts that we have. So, but yeah, that's a targeted approach, Brenda. And those are the things that we need to start thinking about outside of the box. And also, I think that would be a great part, in addition to our war room, is getting a dedicated list together of places that we have sent flyers out. We need to get organized, right? So, again, it's going to take all of us to do it. But if you're going to put time and money towards something, do something that's worthwhile, right? And then that way we can tell Katie, hey, Katie, we're being more productive than you over here. Time for you. Your turn. Because I'm about sick of that shit too. Leaving it all on Seth's shoulders? Come on. That's not only cruel, that's unusual punishment. Just listen to the K-Foot's interview. She's a horrible liar, looking anywhere and everywhere. What exactly runs with scissors? Exactly. She knows where, in my opinion. That's one of the statements that really proves it. Absolutely. And also runs with scissors. Since you're a member, you can also join the Discord too. I have a link up there. And if it's ever not working, just remind me, guys, because I don't know how when it goes out. I'm going to get better with that as well. But I want a dedicated room to Sebastian. That's what we're working towards on that, on Discord. Just a dedicated room for only his information. And it's not like you're going to get in trouble, if you forget, but we're not going to talk about personal issues in there. We're not going to talk about anything but Sebastian's case, only the facts. Right? Can we theorize? Can we talk back and forth? Of course. But we need a fact-based place to put this information. We need a plan of action. Then we can put a call to action out. Hey, guys, here's a big list of schools that we need to put flyers out to and awareness about. right? Here's a bunch of places that we can be sending Sebastian's flyer as a reminder, right? Awareness is key, because people were telling Seth, oh, well, I thought Sebastian was already found. No, he's not. Not so fast. He's not. He's still missing. He's been missing for 2 years. You know, he's been missing for 2 years. So, oh, you're welcome, Runs with Scissors. I don't know when you got it. It might have been Mama, because Mama gave a gifted membership, or gifted a couple memberships the last couple days. So, that's awesome. Welcome to the Dragon Tribe. And again, guys, we're doing a major campaign. I almost forgot to mention this again. This is really important. So, with research, with details, from a very concerned and intelligent citizen on these YouTube streets, right? And it's about the crama. Stop the crama drama, right? So we're going to be going over this as well, right? Hashtag crama, the toxic underbelly of true crime YouTube, full 20 slide expose exposed. Now, this person came to me and asked me if I would be willing to join in with this. And I am most definitely honored and excited to present this to you guys. Again, there's a toxic underbelly on these streets, and it's hurting people. It's hurting those that are involved. It's hurting the people that are in the community. It's hurting the victims. It's hurting their families. Right? And Chris and Katie run right to it. That's their peeps. Needs to be taken down. It shouldn't be a badge of honor to be a crama channel. It's gross. It's trashy. And there's no place for it. So let's take out the trash. Let's take out the trash. Right, evidence, nothing to see here. Seafoot, you messed up. And again, guys, as we work through some of this, I'll be sending it off to the FBI for them to work on it, right? We need to put it into perspective for them. They might not have the same information that we do. They might not have every single screenshot in order from the beginning of what the hell was actually going on in Sebastian's case, right? They're not that good. Sorry. Not sorry. But here you go. This is a bunch of citizens getting together, pulling our resources, our screenshots, everything that was said, and presenting it to you on a silver platter. Now, what are you going to do about it? That's it. I mean, I'd rather spend my time doing that than this, because it's nothing but trash. And again, there's more to come. So I love you guys very much. I will be back here tonight. I'm not sure what time. I have some things I have to do, but it'll definitely be later tonight, around probably at the earliest, 10 o'clock. I might do a little bit of an earlier night show for night court. So just keep the notifications on, because I'm just not sure. Like I said, I have a few things I need to get done, and I'm not sure exactly how late I will be on. But yeah, I do believe that there's footage, Runs with Scissors, as well. I believe that they have camera footage of the lights in the neighborhood, the cars in the neighborhood. I believe that they have more than, they're letting on. And they did. The cameras caught a few things. They did. It's stuff that they don't want to admit to. It's stuff that they don't want the public to know. But, it's not like a lot of people want us to believe, oh, there's no evidence. Oh, who knows what happened? No. I'll never believe that. So keep up the good fight, guys. Please, please, please share Sebastian's flyer. Let's get people back interested in true crime and not into trauma. Right? So we just, that's not what we're about. That's not what we need to focus on. What we need to focus in on is making YouTube a better place, the world a better place, one person at a time. We all have a purpose. I hope that this young lady, Mackenzie, I hope that she got into your ear, because if she can get the fact that she has a purpose on this earth at 17 years old, then I need everybody today to realize that they have a purpose too. Trauma is not the purpose that God gave us. Let me just put that out there as a fact, Jack. All right. I love you guys. Please take care of each other. Stay safe. Be kind to each other. Turn off the trauma. Don't give those bitches any views. What's wrong with you? All right. I love you guys. Have a great night, and I will see you all later.